This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
What's your name, ma'am?
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy. What do you do for a living, Stacy?
I work for a Christian publishing company.
If there's one thing I can't stand.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Sit down, dummy, I'm talking.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Oh, Randy!
He's fat! You f***ing numpty!
Will you laugh at that face? Shut your mouth.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on theprokinternet.com, Podomatic.com, iTunes, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene, and Kier Crystal hasn't been that long since you've been on this show. He asked in the chat, did you change the title and the intro sequence? Yes. Middle of winter. It's been a while. But anyway, that's another story for another day. We're talking about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. Oh boy! I mean, obviously it's a big week. WrestleMania happened. G1 Supercard happened. And if you were to tell me that by this time, if you told me this time last week that G1 Supercard, and specifically Ring of Honor, would look worse off than WWE, I'd have laughed straight to your face. Yet, here we are. But we will elaborate on that thought as the evening progresses. In case you haven't noticed by now, my name is Matty Jay, and my partner over there, that's TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm TWK of TWK Reviews, and fuck Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You can only give one company so many chances before you just have to say, fuck them.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kier. I agree.
There is a button, and I will resist hitting that button for now, but there is a goddamn button. And I'll get to that after I hit the thing, and the you know what. You know what I'm talking about. But I gotta introduce our guest, who was at G1 Supercard. Ladies and gentlemen, Mattis Leonhardt joins us for this review.
You know, when you're ready to show the independent wrestling fans just how much of a douchebag you are, you obviously go to their most important show of the year, how you doing, and you attacked several tag teams. Of course, do you attack the team that won it? Hell no. Do you attack the Death Skeleton guy and the other Death Skeleton guy? Hell no. Do you attack the crazy Frankenstein monster? Hell no. You attack the guys who didn't exert any effort in the match whatsoever and throw beer in the face so you can show the entire world that you are indeed SAWFT soft. And T-Dub is ready to either kill me or hug me.
I think we're ready to kill you now. This
just
got
to mention,
real awkward and real fast.
That was knocking them, T-Dub. That was making fun of them.
But it was all a work.
We'll get to it.
For the sake of Ring of Honor, I hope T-Dub is wrong. I'm going to leave it to that.
Every bit of evidence shows it being a work.
Can we leave
There's
this to
nothing-
gentlemen? I know we want to bitch at him. That's what segment 3 is for. But for ladies and gentlemen, I have enough stories to bring back a segment I didn't think I would have enough to bring back on. But tonight, the return of What the Wrestling Fuck Is Wrong With You? Oh,
how we missed thee.
oh, this is gonna get good. We're gonna be pissed off, but there's at least one moment in this episode where we will get to laugh at a couple of people. Guarantee that. But we gotta get to the good stuff, and there's still plenty of good stuff. So let's get to it. We got G1 Supercard. Well, the New Japan part was pretty fucking good. I don't know about you guys. Match quality wise, New Japan kicked all the ass, as they should have. WWE did really fucking good this weekend. Just quality wise, Jesus balls. Oh, we got some emails and comments and winners and losers and the aforementioned news and what the wrestling fuck. And there's still some legitimate news in there too. Don't you fret, there's good news, there's legitimate news. But we'll get to that in our third seg. Gentlemen, we got a long show ahead. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, clip of the week. This, I thought was going to be the ending of the main event, but cathartically speaking, this was the best moment of the night. I don't care if, for whatever reason you may believe, Kofi earned clip of the week. And the WWE title. That's prestigious too. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment the whole world popped for Kofi Kingston. Take a listen.
Brian is barely moving. Kofi measuring the champion. Trouble in paradise. Kofi did it. Kofi did it. Kofi did it. Kofi is champion. Here is your winner and the new WWE champion, Kofi Kingston. 11 years. 11 long years. Every hoop, every barricade, every hurdle, and finally, Kofi Kingston is done it, man!
You know what, for once, and we like to take a dump on Byron Saxton on this show, we do, and then name a wrestling internet personality, and they will crack a joke at Byron Saxton's expense. I'm not even going to do that. Tom Phillips was scripted. Byron Saxton was, I think, legitimately happy. There are some very legitimate happy moments in the wrestling world with Kofi Kingston. Finally! 11 years! And a set of circumstances that were amazing to behold. A lot of miracles had to happen, but they did happen. And Kofi Kingston, you're reigning and defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I will say it the New Day way in a few minutes. We begin, ladies and gentlemen, chronologically, and we got to do chronologically, as we usually do in these weekends. It would be TakeOver, but it was G1 Supercard who continued the weekend. We actually, for those wondering, where's our review of TakeOver New York? It is last week where we did it. Actually, we watched it. We did a review live, as we usually do. As soon as the show ended, we did the show and we reviewed this. So if you're looking for a review of TakeOver New York from the Barclays Center, it is in episode 487 of the Wrestle-Cast. It is also in the VOD section in our YouTube channel. So, G1 Supercard, Madison Square Garden, sold out.
Wait. Did you just say in Madison Square Garden.
I said Madison Square Garden.
You seem to emphasize the Mattis there. I think you.
Well, you were. Well, technically, you were in Madison Square Garden, so that Freudian slip could still work. But no, it's Madison Square Garden. MSG, whatever you want to call it. Hell, if Chris Jericho could get away with calling Madison Square Garden Madison Square Jericho, I think we could get away with Mattis Square Jerico, or Square Garden, or what? Never mind, fucked it up. Moving on.
And just to let you know, Mattis, now you got me doing it.
It's funny. Never mind.
God damn you, Matty Jay. Oh no, I just said I just posted a picture for you to be able to use in the Discord chat of where I was sitting. So if you want to put that up on screen,
I believe we can. I think we will. Load this up real quick, and we will show. We could definitely show the class here. And you had some very delicious looking seats, admittedly.
Oh yes, if people are wondering where I was sitting, who are not listening here on the live show, I was sitting literally right to the right of the Bud. There's like two entrances that have Budweiser signs on them, like little right by the entranceway. I was sitting right to the right of that. It was very, very good seats, and they cost under $200 too.
Good seats, all things considered, and good price too, considering it's Madison Square Garden. So yeah, you may have noticed the roof. Apparently, the production crew, which was obviously Sinclair, they barely. This is. I think this will be the last Ring of Honor show that I will ever purchase. And I think for sure for T-Dub, it is for sure the last Ring of Honor production he will ever purchase. Whew. Where do we begin? Can we just say right off the bat, New Japan, you're cool. Ring of Honor, there is a bun, and Barrett from the Final Fantasy Mission Abridged series said it best.
That picture, by the way, is not showing everything. So I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but there is a boom camera, like a camera that's like on a crane.
You saw a boom. There was a crane camera and everything else. It looked like they were ready to produce a thing. No, people are thinking bad luck Fale for the bun. Dude, this is Barrett. This is Barrett. This is you fucked up. Ring of Honor, you fucked up. But we shall explain.
But I'm just adding that crane camera was constantly getting in the way of our seats. I mean, as in far as us seeing the rings.
Oh, nuts.
Then I'll get into the other annoyance later in the review.
Also, yeah, I need to take this off. So I was showing the card on screen there. Research. I do the wiki. We gotta take this off because I gotta put this on the screen for myself to read. MSG. They had a women's 6-man tag dark match. Kagetsu, Jenny Rose, and Hazuki defeated Hana Kimura, Stella Gray, and Sumi Sakai in a 6-man tag. Did you watch that match?
I did. I did watch it. And it was okay. I really had no... I didn't have any preference of really knowing who any of these wrestlers were. So I was just sitting there trying to watch the match and enjoy it. And I enjoyed it.
I think that,
What did you think of the entrances?
Well, entrances were very hard to see because of the blinding light.
What do you think of Oedo Tai's dancing?
I can't really remember seeing her dancing.
Oedo, they have the best dancing. By the way, Oedo Tai is putting their dancing up on the line in a match against a rival team's masks.
Find that link. We'll show that to Mattis later. But we gotta move on. The televised portion, at least on New Japan World, which is how I got it. I didn't dare pay the $50. I paid the $9.99 in 999 yen. Thank you very much. They showed the Battle Royal, the Honor Rumble, the reverse entry Battle Royal for a shot at the Ring of Honor World Title, and they should not have put that stipulation in because that involved kayfabe and it fucked over Jushin Thunder Liger because Kenny King won, and I think that might have been strike one against Ring of Honor there. If you really are sticklers, and Tita and I have to be sticklers here.
So I didn't get home till around 7. So when I turned on my TV and started watching the stream, Colt Cabana was making his entrance.
All right, so Colt Cabana was replaced, who was given a spot by Toru Yano, by the way. So he was 27th. Cabana was 27, but there was a 27A and a 27B. 27A was Yano, 27B was Cabana when Cabana took Yano's place in its assistance, and Yano was on the English commentary team, not knowing a lick of fucking English, and I was laughing my balls off.
I can
Also,
tell you,
Yano? Go ahead, Mattis.
I was gonna say they showed Yano on commentary on the big screen for a couple minutes, and that got such a pop.
He didn't have to do it. They just put on a headset, yell in Japanese, big pop. That's Yano
Also,
right there.
Yano, better English commentator than Yoshitatsu.
Ooh, hot fire. Now, I'm not going to bother with the entire list. I will say this. Minoru Suzuki was Kenny King was number 1. Minoru Suzuki was number 2. There was a loud Kaze Ninare.
Which, first thing, usually I watch when I go to a show, I've watched it by now, but because of so much wrestling, I've not gotten to the main show. The only thing so far I've gone back and watched of this show was the Honor Rumble. Yeah. Can somebody, first strike against Ring of Honor as far as I'm concerned was, how do you not have the music rights to Minoru Suzuki or Jushin Thunder?
They did. They did have the rights to Minoru Suzuki, at least in the live version.
Well,
I should mention this. They replaced Jushin Thunder Liger's theme song, so that's definitely a strike one in there. They had the Great Muta as number 30. They had a thing, and then Kenny King fucked it up.
By the way, they replaced Muda's music live as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mattis, what music did Muda use? Did he use his concerto theme?
I really don't have any memory of Muda's original theme, so they may have. So I would have to ask somebody else.
It's very classical Japanese.
There was very classical Japanese music playing, so yes.
Yeah, it starts with somebody saying Muda's name, like Muta, Muta,
Muta.
and then it just starts building and building and building, and then you start hearing like these, like, I can't even really describe the instruments.
Japanese strings?
Yeah, kind of like strings.
That sounds very familiar. But I'm back to Minoru Suzuki's. When I started watching the rebroadcast of what's now on New Japan Pro Wrestling or New Japan World, his song, Minoru Suzuki's song, is replaced.
That is so bizarre.
That is so bizarre. Because I was watching it live, and he had the actual music. And New Japan has the rights to that theme song, so that is very strange. We could talk about this all night. They fucked up. We got to move on. Look, we got 30 fucking matches to talk about.
Hold on, I know the answer. I know how this works. All right, so they're using Ring of Honor's video feed, so they must be using Ring of Honor's archive as well. And I'm assuming Ring of Honor
probably makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we enjoyed singing Kaze no. Yeah.
But when they said Kaze Ninage, everyone said it, right?
Oh yeah.
Good. That's what matters. Kenny King's getting a future world title shot, as if you care. Jeff Cobb over Will Ospreay. That was the opener Jeff Cobb's a double champ. He's got the never open weight title and the TV title. Went 12:52. I will say this: the matches involving the New Japan people across the board, A++.
Can't disagree with that. And Jeff,
Great
Cobb
matches. If you get, I will say this: with all the negative vitriol which will come out of this from the Ring of Honor side, New Japan looked like $1 million fucking that night.
Nevertheless, no problem with Jeff Cobb becoming Cobby 2 belts.
Oh yeah,
Cobby 2 belts.
You'll be hearing that. You'll be hearing hashtag 2 belts later in this segment. Kelly Klein. Wait. We gotta do Roosh taking on Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle had an elaborate entrance as is necessary, and Roosh came in. And for a second, wait a minute, did Naito grew his hair? No, wait, it's Roosh. He was part of the Los Ingo, the OG Los Ingo.
Yeah, he's one of the OGs of it. He literally helped create it.
By the way, the amount of time it takes to do that joke to T-Dub talking was the amount of time of the actual match, 15 seconds.
So a couple things here. First of all, by the way, as great as Cobb and Ospreay looked on screen, it looked even more better.
I can imagine.
It was a great way to open the show. But that entrance by Dalton Castle.
You must have been laughing in your seat.
I certainly was. And of course we laughed at the fact that it was his entrance took longer than the match.
Yes.
and to which ended then of course after the match. Because of course the what are they called, the Young Boys?
Roosh beat the crap out of Dalton Castle if he tried to pick up a feather or whatever. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Dalton Castle did not win, and heel turn. The boys got beat up.
I have no problem with shock victory like this. However, I'm not a fan of them turning Dalton Castle heel. Like, don't take away the boys. I can already see where this is going. They're going to turn him heel. They're going to take away everything apart of his gimmick. They're going to make him super serious, bad guy. Oh, fuck this.
Yeah, this is where the decline of Ring of Honor, this is where it begins. Yeah.
Well, I said it began with the end of the Honor Rumble when they had Jushin Thunder Liger and Great Muta as the last two, only to have Kenny King screw them. Because if you needed anything that was basically a representative of what the entire night would be, that was.
Yeah, because you had Liger and Muta, and they were just about to square off, and the crowd was just about to explode.
That crowd was ready to their body was ready. Kenny King fucked it up.
And that might be the last time we ever see Liger and Muta interact, for all we know.
But this will be divisive, this next match. Not the match itself, but the aftermath. Kelly Klein defeats Mayu Iwatani for the Women of Honor World Championship. Calling it a World Championship, good call, number one. I will say that. 10:38, decent match. Nothing.
It was mediocre. This was not a good match.
I was trying to be nice.
This was really sloppy.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything positive to say about this women's segment, unfortunately. It was really sloppy. They just looked like they were trying to be way too safe. And
Which I get, but at the same time, being too safe gets you too sloppy. Yeah.
There was a lot. At some point in this match, there really wasn't the energy I was expecting out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is typical of Women of Honor matches or not. I mean, you guys can tell me more.
I've seen some really good Women
there
of
are
Honor
some,
matches.
Yeah, I mean, especially
some
of the YouTube matches that they stick in there are really good, all things considered. But let's be honest, boys. Mediocre, good match, didn't matter. The aftermath mattered. Manny Leon was at the commentary booth. But one of the production notes: all the commentary crews that evening. Oh, Jesus. Which is fair. The base crew was Ian Riccaboni, Colt Cabana, Kevin Kelly, and then they would swap some pieces to fit whatever match happened. Chris Charlton was in for the main event of the evening, which, good call there. Chris Charlton earned it.
Literally one line, I think.
Yeah. But, among other things, the production is... Ugh. We'll talk about production at the end when we're done with the card. Out come the beautiful people.
I don't know what y'all are complaining about. I enjoyed it, especially when,
And Velvet Sky, and oh fuck, what was the other name?
Angelina Love.
I was saying Angelina Sky, but Angelina Love and Velvet Sky came out, and the same beautiful people gimmick. Mandy Leon comes out. They beat up both of the women. Oh no, but not just the one woman. They beat up Mandy Leon, and then they get to the Tron to celebrate their heel tactics. MSG booing the shit out of them, and on the screen, Allure. Or as many of you have taken to call it, Beautiful People 2.0.
Again,
at first, I hated it, and then my brain kicked in because, really, when you think about it, Ring of Honor has been treating the Women of Honor division as an afterthought. Some heel work here and there, a little bit of build up there, but pretty much vanilla. If this is their way of injecting some heel storylines and getting some major league heat in there to at least have Kelly Klein at the very least sound like she might be a babyface or something. I thought about it again. Yeah, Mattis, you can like it, but it's tough to defend it.
I'm just not a fan of them going around heat this way because it just feels really desperate.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is, as good as... I will say this. Just to inject heel heat in the women's division with no heat at all, look, you need to build up some stars in that division. Get some good heels is part one of the problem solved. But you need a good babyface. Who is that babyface? And Kurt Crystal, I think, it may have flopped. Just a tad. Just a tad. Just a tad.
Can I get in here?
So I will defend Allure as a way to get heel heat to try to build up your babyface star of the division. But it's going to be a hard sell. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know what y'all are complaining about. I mean, when Velvet Sky bent over and went into the ropes, her ass was just pointed directly at me, and chicken was done, so I was happy.
God. I knew it. I knew it was going to come to that.
Of course. If anything with fan service, it's not automatic approval from Mattis.
It's about the only thing that was good during this entire match, so can you blame me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can and will blame you on that one. Just a tad. But again, this is this is their way of saying we got to build up a babyface. We need a heel. So hopefully they don't fuck up that. But this was strike two for me as well. Unfortunately. 6-man tag. This was a 6-man tag New York City street fight. That was a clusterfuck to say. Flip Gordon and the Lifeblood, Juice Robinson and Mark Haskins, defeated Bully Ray, Shane Taylor, Silas Young. Notice no Minoru Suzuki in there at all. Well, 15:01. I mean, it Flip Gordon.
What I was going to say is, of course, we can't forget, I don't know if this was on the live broadcast, but basically introducing the Street Fighter, or basically the story going into it is they had...
Mega Ran, he was doing a rap, and Bully Ray decided to beat up Mega Ran. Moving on.
Well, but also that New York booed the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's why we're moving on. Poor guy did not deserve that much booing.
I actually got to meet him before the show. Actually, I was standing I was at where the entrance was, where wrestlers were coming in, and I got to meet him. And he actually apparently has heard of my podcast. So,
hey, cool dude in my book.
Mega Ran's always been a nice guy. And he is a legitimate wrestling fan. He is, but
yeah.
I think where the heat comes from is fans don't want random musical acts. They don't.
They don't want WWE
want
wrestling. They want Ring of Honor wrestling, which for some people that could be strike three, but it's Mega Ran. That's like the poor guy didn't deserve all the booing. That's all I'm saying. I'm moving on. Let's not pour salt in the wound, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. And the match was, it's what it said on the tin. It was a street fight. There was brawling, there was Fing, and Flip Gordon won. So the pop was in there.
Also, rest in peace, Bully Ray's balls.
Oh, God. Yeah, he got beat up. Though he unfortunately did not get a chance to sell. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Dragon Lee defeated Taiji Ishimori and Bandito to become the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. 854.
One thing before we get to this match, the other thing about the hardcore match was that it was take a piece of kendo stick home night.
I know. Oh, God, those pieces were flying, weren't they?
Oh my God, you have no idea that from my viewpoint, in particular, the first one to go was Bully Ray's when he hit Flip Gordon, and you just see the white thing go almost hit the announcing.
Damn, that thing flew.
And then to watch the white pieces fly all into the crowd when young Lifeblood and Flip were hitting Bully Ray, and it's take a piece of kendo stick home now.
By the way, Flip Gordon, goddamn, his back must have been sore after this match.
Oh, he was oh, hit me, goddamn it! Ah! So guess who's taking flat back bump to the T-shirt for the next couple of weeks? This guy.
Also, Mass, yes, I agree with that. If that was not a shout out to Tommy Dreamer with all those Singapore cane shots, just ooh.
Yeah. There's a callback. Now on to the match that I was talking about. Dragon Lee, and he won. So Ishimori did not retain the title.
I'm happy with Lee winning. Nice little tribute to Takahashi. Hopefully he's returning soon.
Sooner rather than later, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, we were all watching to see if Tanahashi would come out.
Well, but Tanahashi is would be later that night. Or you mean Hiromu? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Hiromu.
Hiromu Takahashi.
Sorry. Yeah, we were all thinking, Hiromu Takahashi is going to come out. He's got to.
He did not.
It would have made a great, spot of him finally coming back, and here's where he finally comes back.
He did not. We got to move on because we got again 30 matches to review here. This is kind of like a speed round situation. The Gorillas of Destiny, they won all the belts in the Fatal 4-Way for the IWGP and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Or the toss the belt to the wall because you're pissed off championships now, if you are Tama Tonga. They defeated Villain Enterprises, PCO, and Brody King. PCO, you poor bastard. We'll bring that up in a second. LJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Evil Ensenada, and the Briscoes, Jay and Mark. And they went... I'm surprised. This felt like a 15-minute. They only went 9:45. All I'm going to say is you'll remember three things. One, Toru Yano stealing the IWGP belts. If you can remember it, that is. Two, the thing that we'll bring up in What the Wrestling Fuck Is Wrong With You. And three, God damn it, Pierre Calwellette, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, PCO died a death in this match.
PCO, for those who did not watch G1 Supercard, and I would say you should, I mean, at least for the New Japan stuff, including this match, PCO I could only say took a bump that no sane individual on this island Earth should.
Also, his entrance, pretty awesome.
His entrance was fucking awesome.
They did kind of. I don't know how it looked on TV.
He took a flat. It was a flat back bump. It was safe, for lack of a better word.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his entrance.
Oh.
Because I don't know how it looked on TV yet, but I know that it took them forever to set up the seat for him to sit in.
Yeah. Admittedly, there was a little bit of a pause. A little bit of a delay there, but
yeah, that
it thankfully was used to build up the tension for PCO to come in. So fair is fair on this one. However, goddamn that God double power bomb from the ring, from the top of the two dudes, Tama and Nanga, Tama and God. And PCO took a fucking powerbomb, not to the apron, not to the mat, which would have been safer, obviously, but to the arena fucking floor. Top rope to the floor, flat back bump. He rose to signify that he was indeed okay, but motherfucker. Please, for the love of God, I hope someone went back there to PCO after the match and said, "Thank you very much. Never ever do that again."
Yes.
He had to have his Undertaker.
Also, I like how he got up and then went right back down.
Like he sat up and he lied back down and said, "Okay, yeah, I'm done."
There. Let me tell you something. There were several "please don't die" chants going throughout this match, particularly targeting PCO.
Oh, PC. Oh, God. Please do not do that again. Please don't die. Anyway. So the Briscoes won, and someone decided to jump the rail.
No.
God won.
Oh, yeah. God won. For a second, I was gonna say thank you for stopping me for bringing up Enzo goddamn Amore, but never mind. Yeah, God won. Yano takes the belts. They go. Everyone goes backstage. All kinds of confused. Tama Tonga throwing belts all over the fucking place.
But we'll get to that.
Oh. But then, after all the clusterfucks and everything else, championship time continues. It was Zack Sabre time for the British Heavyweight Revolution Pro Wrestling British Heavyweight Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi by submission in 15-14. I love that match. Like I said, anything involving the New Japan crew, they did solid work.
Well, think about how I feel. I got to watch one of my favorite wrestlers in the whole world in Hiroshi Tanahashi.
You saw him lose, sadly, but
yeah, that's the one constant thing that I disagreed a lot with in this card is that most of the decisions I disagreed booking wise with the ending of who won, but that was small fries compared to the problems that ROH was at.
Yeah, but this match, loved it. What about you, T-Dub?
This was a technical masterpiece.
Yes. I think this is one of those watch this match. Speaking of watch this match, Kota Ibushi defeated Tetsuya Naito to win the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. It went 20-53. Again, another beauty.
So I have to admit, I kind of missed some beginning aspects of this match. And the reason was I got a very scary thought in my head. Because I kept thinking, how are they going to top what they did in the New Japan Cup? I then proceeded to look to my right. and I looked at the Budweiser sign. I
Okay,
remember
you're
that.
breaking up a little bit there. Hold on. All right, try it again.
To my right is the Budweiser sign. And I remember that Bushi likes jumping off.
All right, you're breaking up again, dude. Try it again.
Am I coming in now?
You're still breaking up. Hold on. Stupid server thing. That's what it is. Because you're kind of coming in garbly.
How about now?
Better. Try it again.
Okay. All right. So I said I was kind of missing. I missed parts of the beginning of this match because I got this very scary thought, and that was that I was trying to figure out how will Ibushi and Naito take this to the next level from the New Japan Cup. And then I happened to look to my right, and I noticed the Budweiser sign. And I remembered that Ibushi likes to jump off tall things.
Oh.
So I kept thinking that, oh my God, what would happen if they fought all the way here and Ibushi did the moonsault off the Budweiser sign?
Well, that would be free advertising for crappy piss beer, but hey, you know what? Whatever. This Bud is for you.
In all fairness, all beer is piss.
That's because you're straight edge.
Which means I'm better than you.
Okay, all right,
your
CMT
dreams.
Dub. How are your two UFC fights?
Making millions of dollars.
In 60 seconds.
That's very true. All right, but yeah, so you noticed, and then the match happened, and no, Ibushi won. Kamigoye to the face.
Match.
Boom, 1, 2, 3, done.
I got to watch two of my favorite wrestlers tear it the fuck down. I was happy in my head place.
And once again, the Kamigoye is a protected finisher, which I like.
Yeah. They tried to wrestle around it. Naito was avoiding it at all costs, but when he got hit by it, 1, 2, 3, dead on the mat.
Also,
And
at the very least, they didn't try to kill each other as much as usual.
They just wrestled.
At least till the end, where then
Where it was
she
time to
dropped
kill each
Naito on
other,
his head.
but you know. Anyway, Matt Taven, Jay Lethal, Marty Scurll, Matt Taven, your new Ring of Honor World Champion. It was a 3-way ladder match, 29-35. It was your semi-main.
If there's one thing to remember from this match, it's this. That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit.
Whoever decided, it was Lethal who tossed that ladder out of the ring, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
He tossed a rather ring and into a fan's face.
That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit. That was an actual chant. I think I may have overheard that.
It was an actual chant. It was very, very loud. Everyone in the arena was yelling it.
Yep.
Yes, we all were. I can attest to that.
You were there. You are a roving reporter, my friend.
Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but Matt Taven's name is Matt Taven. I'm not sure if you guys were made aware of that or not, but he's Matt Taven.
Yeah, I believe Matt Taven. Yeah, Matt Taven. Matt Taven. Matt Taven.
He's Matt Taven. He's Matt Taven. He's Matt Taven. Or at least, according to Matt Taven, he's Matt Taven. He only had to tell us a million times throughout the show.
Matt Taven. Matt Taven. Matt Taven. Matt Taven.
Teamy.
I was doing SCU, but never mind.
I was talking with the guy next to me, and I said, if they really want to make this place right, they'll have Matt Taven, the guy from Boston, win. Damn you, ROH.
Damn you. They took full advantage of being semi-main event. Oh, boy. Oh. Look, I have no problem. This is storyline heat. So it's going to translate to decent heat. I'm okay with Matt Taven winning, and for nothing else, it's going to be good heat. And let's be honest, what else are you going to do with Jay Lethal as world champion?
Well, I was thinking they should have put it on Marty Skull.
I think in an ideal world, Matty Jay would be the world champion. But considering what may or may not happen, obviously his connections with people from an other wrestling company.
But Marty isn't leaving until the fall.
That's what I thought. I mean, hey, there's at least a summer run with the belt, but obviously they don't want to chance it. Fair enough, fair play.
Also, so both the champion and the number one contender are now heels.
Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, on to the main event, because goddamn, that was a good main event. Kazuchika Okada over Jay White for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship of the World. They went 32-33. Couple of notes. They restored the belt. And goddamn, is a shiny, beautiful looking thing.
Yep, they have a new belt design.
No, same design. It was just restored.
It looks it looks like they added a bit of color to the center plate.
Oh no, I will say this. Actually, that's what I thought. I actually did some research and I actually found, well, the first belt, the belt that we saw, the beat up belt that we saw before tonight, and no, that belt was indeed restored, because that belt, as shiny as it is now, that's how shiny it was when they first gave it out to, I believe it was Tanahashi. They restored it.
Nevertheless, it was a really good match, although I would have preferred Jay White winning it because I really don't like...
You don't like hot dogging, and I don't blame you. I get the feeling...
I don't like
it's like I said last week. Whoever goes on last, the babyface is winning.
Yeah.
You can't leave MSG pissed off.
That being said, T-Dub, considering all the bullshit that went on that night, MSG was waiting and needed Okada to win, and they were so ready for him to win. Because towards the end of that match, there was not a single goddamn person that was sitting in their seat.
I can imagine. And I will say this. Jay White will be champion again. He will be champion again.
Didn't we say this about Naito a few, 3 years ago?
We did.
We did, and we're still waiting for this.
Well, he got the IC title, so... But
this also sort of proved my whole point about they shouldn't have took the belt off Tanahashi. They should have kept it on him, and they should have had Tanahashi versus Okada.
I'm good with no more Tanahashi Okada matches, at least until G1.
I'm a bit of column A, a bit of column B on this one, because the match we got was good. All right, let's. The match
it was good.
Okada and White had was a great main event. And this is where we because there was no spots. It was like your standard match. The babyface won, and then the Ring of Honor production realized, hey, the babyface won. You got 2 minutes to go. Okay, fuck off. Bye bye, everybody. Bye. No,
Ring of Honor just could not wait to sign off. They did the whole American thing where they sign off 2 minutes after the winner gets their victory, and we did not get to hear Okada's victory speech, which is a very customary thing in New Japan, where after the main event person wins, they get 5 to 10 minutes to speak to the crowd, address them, say whatever they have to say, and then we get to see backstage for the press conference. But unfortunately, we did not get that.
This was obviously a Sinclair Broadcasting production. We did not get that, especially on the New Japan feed. But you got it, Mattis. You got to see it live, so that there's a little bit of luck there.
And I'll tell you what he basically said. He thanked New York. He thanked New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Thanked for being in Madison Square Garden, and wished us good night.
So we said goodbye, mwah, and good night, rain.
Not quite in that order.
Not quite in that order, but fair enough. Close enough for government work on that one, Tito. But then, ladies and gentlemen, there's the elephant in the room for this. What?
I just thought that one right at the moment.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, we close this chapter. New Japan Pro Wrestling Cross Ring of Honor G1 Supercard MSG. At the beginning of the night, we're thinking this will be a slam dunk for both companies. And in fairness to New Japan, by and large, this technically was a slam dunk. Maybe not the best booked slam dunk, but I will say this. New Japan looked a lot better coming out of the MSG than it looked coming in.
Yeah, between Ring of Honor...
No thanks to Ring of Honor, which I could tell you, after that night, they are not looking good.
Yeah, between all the production botches, because there were so many big moves that they just did not get on camera because they decided to cut to the crowd for that moment.
Some pinfall moments, and they cut to the crowd. Could someone talk to that whoever was directing and tell him, you're not Kevin Dunn, keep your shit in the ring? When the match is over, or when there's like a count of 10, or if like both men are down, yeah, go ahead, look at the crowd, look at the belt, then cut back to the crowd, or at least cut back to the match. No, the production was all over the place. They didn't even try to highlight that they were sold out. Yeah, it was loud, and there were some moments where you could see that there was a full section of the crowd. If they highlighted the roof of Madison Square Garden, it was during a high spot or a turnbuckle spot. The only way you could find out that it was Madison Square Garden was through those spots or the multiple mentions of it being Madison Square Garden. That for me is strike 3. Show. Don't tell. You were telling and barely showing that you were in the one building no other independent professional wrestling company could ever dare think they could make it there. And that button with Barrett at the beginning of the review says it best. I am conflicted by this show. On one hand, the New Japan matches, anything with strictly New Japan guys in, either the championship matches or the pretty much anything that involved the New Japan crew were good matches. Anything with strictly Ring of Honor guys, outside of their world title match, if you want to argue it, was just not good. I hate to say it, man. I invested $50 in that ticket in Toronto. I thought, hey, after G1, it'll be an investment well thought, and now I'm getting a little bit of that buyer's remorse.
You just better hope the End Zone cast don't show up.
If they do, here's what I'm doing. I will stand up and make my way to the merchandise stand. I will not even give them the dignity of my voice. I stand, I go to the merch stand. So, what do you got for merch? Oh, there's a match. I don't care about these two. Fuck them.
I will just...
By the way, the Ted Reeve Arena has not sold out yet. I did check. They have still a lot of seats available.
I wonder why.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they've not been doing well ticket sales outside of this one show. In fact, if you go back to last year when Jay Lethal won the ROH World title, it was in an almost empty arena.
Ring of Honor starting to feel like the house that the Elite built.
Right now, it's starting to feel like TNA 2010.
I'm still looking forward to go see a Ring of Honor show. Don't get me wrong, but
At least you'll get to see Marty Scurll and the rest of Villain Enterprises.
And it is a New Japan show. I mean, all things good. If that relationship is still healthy, I want to meet Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah, at the very least for the rest of this year, it seems to be the case. By the way, good news for New Japan. I forgot to mention this last week. On April 1st, guess who decided to quit the company?
Who?
Michael Elgin.
All right, fair enough. That's a news. That is a news.
Yeah, I just want to bring it up now before I forget, because that is some of the best news I've heard all year. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, you both are coming in robotic right now. What the hell?
That is Discord. Because it's been doing that on and off for me on your guys' ends as well.
Yeah,
This
you guys have been
is-
coming robotics at places too.
All right, let me see. I know the Shades is online. We're gonna get that fixed up. Let's talk about the them ratings real quick. While we do that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as far as my ratings, New Japan came out of this looking like a professional company.
Yeah.
ROH came out looking like a company that was scared of AEW.
Yeah.
And so my ratings, I love the New Japan stuff, 5 out of 5. The ROH stuff, 2 out of 5. Yeah, put that together somewhere like the 3 category.
Yeah. As the show as a whole, I can't put it more than a 5. Simply because it has to be combined with the Ring of Honor production. And there's no two ways about it. A 3 out of 5. Oh. Check. Oh.
T-Dub?
Yeah?
I cut out there when you said what...
Yeah, you cut off. Let me see. All right, no, we changed. No, we changed. All right, no. I told Chase to switch out the server.
Wait, he can do that?
Yeah, well, that's something we discovered. Multiple servers. The original server was US South, and when we were doing Took Riffs a few weeks ago, we have to cut the show early because it was just going as garbly as it was right now. We found out you could switch a server. We switched to Eastern, no problem at all.
Well, we are all on the East Coast, so...
Yeah, but
well,
it
at
was
least
the
me and
US
Matt are.
South. US South and US Eastern. It's 2 different servers.
I know. Like,
Very
this makes
technical.
sense because me and Mattis are on the East side, so it makes sense that would be better for us to do that. Anyways, as I was saying, you combine the greatness of New Japan with the mediocrity that was Ring of Honor during this show. 3 out of 5 makes sense.
Yeah, because New Japan they had a good 4. They had a good 4 out of 5 for their efforts, including the crossover matches. Everyone in the matches and the crossover matches and the New Japan matches, they get a thumbs up. Anything that is strictly Ring of Honor, they look more scared of AEW than... Guys, this was a slam dunk. It didn't have to fuck anything up. I'll forgive Matt Taven. I'll forgive Matt Taven. I'll forgive Allure, but the fact that you're...
Taven.
But the third strike is what we'll talk about in the third segment. We got to move on, gentlemen. Oh, Mattis, did you give your... no, you gave your thing.
I gave it's a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. We now, ladies and gentlemen, move to a thing that we call WrestleMania 35. Wow.
Isn't it amazing what happens when WrestleMania actually tries and doesn't roll over and die because NXT TakeOver was so perfect?
It was more than perfect. If you ask a particular person, they gave it a particular match a set of stars. But
yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer. That was 7 stars.
You know what? In fairness to Meltzer, the
Matt.
fact that it gave him more than 5 stars is a thing, but we'll get to that in a third. All right. WrestleMania 35 at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Fuck your shadow, New York City, bitches. I'll call it what it actually fucking is. I'm with Dave LaGreca out of Busted Open Radio, by the way, in that opinion. Purported the purported attendance of 82,285. And
Because WWE has never in their life ever lied about attendance numbers.
no.
I heard that
And
there
people-
was 200,000 people in the Pontiac Silverdome.
And 300,000 in the Dallas Sportatorium, or I'm sorry, AT&T Stadium, whatever. 16 matches. Y'all thought G1 Supercard was fucking long. That was a fucking warm up.
Let's get to work, gentlemen.
You do.
Yes?
Yeah,
You cut
Matt
off
said,
there.
let's get to work.
Yeah, let's get to work. Bio was thinking it's already in East. Does say it was in South. Bio was making a fuss out of it. Anywho, so we cut off a little bit earlier because the service switched. That's what it was, by the way. Anyway, the kickoff. There are 4 kickoff matches. Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy jerked the curtain officially. Tony Nese is the new cruiserweight champion, 1040. A good cruiserweight matchup.
Once again, another good cruiserweight match. Wish they were more towards the end of the pre-show, but, you know.
There we go.
I was actually having dinner with my family during the entirety of that was the pre-show, so I have nothing to say on all these matches.
Yeah, the pre-show matches I watched. I was there with the marathon on the Sunday off because we were doing our own little marathon before the marathon. And instead of a pizza, I decided to Uber Eats me some McDonald's. All day breakfast, bitches.
We had Pizza Hut.
Both good calls. I am not going
And
to
I had
judge.
a Pizzone.
On Sunday, I had Chinese food. So I guess in my own way,
Hey.
I had myself a Jewish Christmas.
Well, it was wrestling
Mazel tov.
Christmas. It was wrestling Christmas for us. Again,
And well,
all
what was that,
accentuations.
Mattis?
I said Mazel Tov.
Oh, thank you.
Carmella has won on the sensational invitational battle royal, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Last
Don't you mean
eliminating
the China
Sarah
Vagina
Logan.
Cup?
Last eliminating Sarah Logan. I gotta move on, boy. I'm not gonna name everyone involved. I will say this: Asuka was in there. Kairi Sane was in there. Asuka should have won. I was disappointed. Carmella won. Who cares?
The hometown crowd does.
Hometown did good, believe it or not. So they care, but to us, the vast majority audience, Raw Tag Team titles 13-20. The Revival took on Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins won a match.
The streak is finally over!
New tag champs, and they retained on Raw, so that looks, at least for the week, Hawkins is a champ and a loser no more.
And I absolutely love this.
Same here. It was a great match, too.
I even said, because I released an episode of CMG's Wrestling Reviews before doing Fastlane, and I said, mark my words, Ryder and Hawkins versus the Revival will be a sleeper match of the night.
I don't think it reached that, but it was definitely one of the highlights of the night. I will definitely give it that. I don't think people are going to argue too much of that on that. Braun Strowman won as I guess was it a retention of the championship? Well, he's got
We'll
his
call it a
second Andre the
retention.
Giant Battle Royal trophy. He last eliminated Colin Jost. I ask once again, who the fuck cares?
Also, this is the
Well,
first
you know
time
what we
Braun-
care about? The return of the masterpiece, Chris Masters.
That was not Chris Masters.
A lot of people saying that the psychiatrist was Chris Masters.
That was not Chris Masters. He's taller.
Also, Braun Strowman did not retain anything. This was the first time he won it.
I thought he had the trophy before.
Nope, the winners currently are Cesaro, Big Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Matt Hardy, and now Braun Strowman.
Okay, fair enough. But this is a comedy spot on top of a comedy spot, so we move on to the main card. Some people sang. Alexa Bliss did a WrestleMania thing. Hulk Hogan came out. And right in the middle of a old racist douchebag posing in front of 90,000 in the Silverdome, brother. Hey, I gotta make a joke out of this bullshit. And while all that shit happens, Paul Heyman comes out and, to quote to quote the Salamonster, Paul Heyman walking to Real American is my new favorite thing.
Yes, that should be his new theme song, please. He would be the greatest Real American.
He would.
That's like one of the greatest things from the night, seeing him walk to the ring while Real American kept playing in the background. That was absolutely fantastic.
Because when we hear it, the script was being flipped all the way to the beginning of the fucking show, so that's how you know this was last minute. But it turned out to be a good call, because what we got out of it, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. The action lasted longer than the 2 minutes 30 seconds, but officially it went 2 minutes 30. Seth Rollins, new Universal Champion.
This was a perfect way to open the show.
This was... Hey, if Heyman said, if we ain't going
100%
on last,
agree,
we're
and
going on
just
first.
I just love the fact that Seth Rollins is now champion, and we can have a champion on Monday nights once more. That's fantastic.
And
I
Kurt
love it.
Crystal,
like
his first trophy was the greatest Royal Rumble trophy. Thank you, Kurt. Oh. All right, hold on, boys. We disconnected again. God damn it. Every time.
Damn you, Twitch.
Come on. Can I let... There we go. Let's put that on here. Do. Every time with this shit. Every time. My internet connection is fine. I'm
assuming it's the Twitch servers.
They must not like me.
That's strange, because I did not have any problems with Rift Down this week. Not even a single frame drop, thankfully.
I know, right? They must not like me.
Maybe Canadian servers aren't doing too good with Twitch lately.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm just trying to throw things out here. Maybe it's specifically the part of Canada you're in. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I honestly do not know what it is. But Brinico's calling it botch the third. That's Twitch right there. We are back though, so I'm just gonna hit this little button right here. And we're going to move on. By the way, I didn't have to fix anything. OBS thankfully popped right back in this time around. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck happened, folks. Twitch did not want to cooperate. My internet was fine. Discord was still connected. We were here. Moving on, gentlemen.
Well, I think we all agreed that it was a perfect way to open the show, and to basically signify to the fans, yeah, we're listening to you, and then take the belt off Lesnar.
And at the very least, it was a hot opener. And a good pay-per-view always has a good hot opener. So, good call. Also, to quote Brock Lesnar, or at least paraphrase it, "Ah, my groin, bitch!" Because Suplex City, bitch.
People keep beating me by hitting me in the dick. Why do they keep hitting me in the dick, Paul?
So that was
well, my client Brock Lesnar, I have a good strategy for you. If you say hit them harder, I'm gonna hit you in the.
My client Brock Lesnar keeps getting hit in the dick. Why? Why does my client Brock Lesnar keep getting hit in the dick?
Meanwhile, AJ Styles is like, get back to me when you've reached 46.
Dick kick. Dick kick. Speaking of that, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
If you could see it through the lights.
Oh, we'll get to that in the third segment. I feel bad for that crowd for that one particular reason, but it was a decent match. Randy Orton said it was a good match. He was not wrong. He was not wrong.
It was a perfectly fine match. They even teased the spot they did on SmackDown pretty well.
Yeah.
And in the end, AJ got the win. So, yay for the good guy.
It was a good match, and I think a lot of people were surprised that the indie guy went over on the WWE guy.
I get the feeling that Randy said, I'm putting the indie guy over. Vince, over my dead body. It's AJ Styles. How much money? A lot. All right, you can lose to AJ. God damn it.
Don't worry. I'll make sure he shakes my hand afterward.
Fine, God damn it, but wash that fucking hand.
No promises.
No, the agreement is I'll let him win here, but I'll beat him in Mario Kart later.
Haha. And then AJ Styles will break 3 Joy-Cons in protest.
And then that's what causes him to walk out of the company.
No, it's the 4th Joy-Con. That's what it is.
Well, you see, I was actually very surprised that AJ had any energy for this match, considering his got his ass kicked by Scott Norton.
Oh, God.
Oh, you were I was one in the chat. Paul, swear to God, you say just keep suplexing him. I'm gonna fucking hit you in the dick.
Thank you, Reverend. The Fatal 4-Way SmackDown Tag Titles. Aleister Black and Ricochet got nice looking entrances. And Ricochet marked the fuck out of being at WrestleMania. Can you blame him? Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, who deserves better. And The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus.
Wait,
Antonio Beach Ball Buster Cesaro.
Well, with Shinsuke, we have to do it right. We have to go, where in the world is Shinsuke Nakamura?
That fucking coat looked awesome on him, though. But the Usos retained.
Yeah,
This was
another
a
one at
fucking
Mania.
amazing match.
That was a great match.
yeah, really good 4-way match, and I believe this is the first time they've ever gotten. This is their first WrestleMania victory, right?
This is their first main card WrestleMania victory, yes.
Yes, it is.
About time. Well
About
deserved.
fucking time. Anyway, we're speed running through the rest of this, so we apologize if we missed anything. Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Falls count anywhere. 15:30. 2 things. 1, we had a Nicholas moment with Mr. Mizanin.
George, fisticuffs, Mizanin.
Love that moment where he puts his hands up against Shane and Shane adjusts his hands to help him with his fighting posture. Oh,
No,
God.
Matty,
First
the best
Nicholas.
part-
Fuck
the
this.
best part-
WrestleMania 36. Nicholas versus George Mizanin. No. Joey Janela's Spring Break. George Mizanin versus Bob Sapp.
No,
Oh,
I
come
got
on,
no, no,
don't
no,
retire
no, 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 no. I got one better for you. George Mizanin and Nicholas versus the team of the Invisible Wrestler and the Invisible Wrestler.
Oh,
That's
Invisible
one of the
Man
matches
and
I've been
Invisible Sam. Aha.
That's one of those matches I was meaning to see this past weekend.
I have seen him. Bryce Remsburg is a jewel in this wrestling business.
Our buddy Liam, I believe it was, said it best. There are good referees, there are great referees, and then there's Bryce Remsburg.
He could not have said it better. The other spot, obviously, is the finisher. That Suplex.
I was a bit shocked. I thought they would climb the actual LED posts that were holding up the big thing.
Something tells me someone went to them, "You're not climbing that fucking high. Get out of your fucking system."
The only downside to the spot is the fact that the cushions were too easily seen.
Yeah, the bit of a production botch there, unfortunately.
But to make up to it, Shane McMahon took Wicked Bounce off a golf court.
Yeah, the golf cart bump. Good lord.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was supposed to actually fall off of that, but ow.
It was simultaneously cringing and hilarious to watch at the same time. Shane won after taking that bump and actually landing on Miz at the same time. So that's how Shane won.
The only thing missing from the golf cart was Raven.
And a big fuck off wire that feeds the entire electricity to the entire fucking production. If you got that reference, we love you. If you didn't, fuck, we're old. Okay. So fatal four way for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The Boston Hug Connection, Nia Jax, Tamina, and the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix, and Natalya, who had a great entrance, I thought. Well, not the greatest, but it was a nice touch. Especially Beth Phoenix, which on the screen actually looked like a phoenix rising. That was a nice touch. And Bret Hart was there. Also a good touch. But
and of course the Iconics came out as Maleficent and the Crow. And
I was gonna say, T-Dub, I hope you get your posing hands ready. But they fell to a tag team that was simply iconic. Did you pose?
See?
Yes. This needs to be a video gimmick, but I posed too. I will say this: I was not a believer in the Iconics before the show, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. That amount of emotion they had after winning the title, I'm like, you know what? For as indifferent as I am on the Iconics, they won me over with the raw emotion they had with the belts. When they got the belts in, you know.
I'm going to say this right now, just in case I forget to say it later. I think it was absolutely the right decision to have the Iconics win it.
They're the only legit built tag team.
I'm saying that, though, for something we'll talk about later, but, you know. I thought it was a decent match, but made better by the fact that the right team won it. And like I said, as a Sleeping Beauty fan, because it's only my third favorite movie of all time.
You had a little bit of a mark-up moment.
Yeah, because those costumes were fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Small pop.
Yeah, obviously, I was a huge fan of the Iconics going over in this match because, well, I've been a fan of them since they debuted on NXT.
And you know what? They are annoying, but god damn it, they're heels, and they are gonna be doing that annoying thing. And you know what? That iconic pose, good lord, it's crept in my brain, and I am not mad about it. So yeah, like I said, Iconics coming out to that get up and small pop. Next match, big fucking pop. You heard it. Kofi Kingston over Daniel Bryan for the WWE, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Wow.
I have to jump in here because I've been waiting for this for 11 years. And Matty, you can know this because since you know me, every time Royal Rumble would come up, I would always say, what was one of my picks to win the Rumble?
Kofi, he's your boy.
So trust me when I say nobody was more happy about this to finally see somebody who I thought ages ago should have been World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion, win that belt. It was a beautiful, glorious match. I couldn't have been happier. I mean, but I think it means something more happening now than it would have maybe 8 years ago.
Yeah, but I think people often forget just how red hot Kofi was back in 2009 when he started that feud with Randy Orton. it's easy to forget that. But
Yeah, that MSG pop that he got when he did that, I think it was a plunge. No, senton. Senton through a table at MSG. I remember that.
yeah, crowd went insane. They were ready for him to get to the main events scene right then and there. But unfortunately, we had to wait until now. But oh boy,
Better
was this
late than never.
And I say worth it.
And if anyone wants to know just how real pro wrestling can be at the time, if anyone wants to know how real pro wrestling can ever be, look at Xavier's face when Kofi won. Just look at Xavier.
Look at Xavier crying. That's emotion, man.
Look at MVP and Chad Gaspard.
Oh yeah, the video of them. They were, I believe, at a bar or like they were at a nearby establishment, watching it. Everyone's marking out, and there, both of them looked like they're about to cry of joy.
And you know who else? Do you know who was actually in the front row for this match?
His kids.
JTG.
Oh. All right. Okay.
Yeah, he posted. Yeah, when Kofi won, he posted a selfie of himself there. He was apparently like in the front row watching the match.
But yeah.
So yeah, like this is just a huge moment because for years and years, it was often debated was did WWE even ever really have a black champion? Because there's always an asterisk next to The Rock's name because people thought, he only got the title because he was
more
Samoan.
Samoan than anything else. And, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about the world title with Mark Henry and Booker T? We're talking about the WWE Championship. Like, the WWE Championship. Its lineage, the closest person to an African-American descent is The Rock. And there's an asterisk there because he considers himself more of Samoan descent than of African-American descent. Now, you could say, if you want to be technical about it, The Rock is still the first, quote-unquote, colored champion. But first, African-American WWE champion, and Keir Crystal brings up Ron Simmons. Yeah, he is, WCW, the first world champion, first world heavyweight champion, first sanctioned NWA heavyweight / WCW heavyweight champion. Sure, but we're talking about the WWE Championship.
And let's be real. WWE always treated the big gold belt as the second place belt.
Yeah. Except for that one time where they were treating it like the number one belt, but guess who had the number one belt? Triple H, WrestleMania 19. They could have put it on Booker T. They didn't, and they fucked up. But that's then. This is now. They didn't fuck that up. And on the match itself, I think we should have mentioned, Bryan and Kofi wrestled an excellent match.
It was such a good technical match.
Bryan did wrestled a very technical heel match. Technical heel, as in stopping every piece of momentum Kofi tried to build up.
And it just riled the crowd up even more. Every time Kofi tried to get offense and Bryan would stop, and the crowd just kept getting more and more riled up. Every time Kofi went on more offense, the crowd kept getting louder and louder and louder until he finally hit the Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3, crowd explodes. This is one of the most perfect matches I've ever seen all year. This right here, match of the year for me right now.
Isn't it amazing what happens when you allow yourself to invest yourself into a match?
I don't think if there was someone who said they weren't invested in that match, they were fucking lying. Or they don't have an emotional bone in their body. But we gotta move on. We got a few more matches to go here.
Okay, fine, we'll move on. But I could talk about this match for like 3 hours.
We could, and I get the feeling once we get to our halfway through credit card review in August, we are going to be talking about this match some more. But we gotta move on to something that only took about a minute, but it's just as good as you can get for Samoa Joe, who defeated Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. If there's nothing else in this, Joe won. Joe got a dominant win. Was it the perfect way to give us Mysterio versus Joe? No. But we got something. Honestly,
We got something amazing, and that entrance by Rey Mysterio as Mysterio.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was like one of the very few people on Twitter who noticed that. Like most people weren't sure what he
We
was.
were,
But
I was with the crowd there, and we were thinking Aquaman, and then it was your tweet that you sent T-Dub that actually lit the path. I was like, when I saw Rey Mysterio's Mysterio, I read it out loud, and everyone went, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, the outfit, the purple cape, the blonde hair, that was all Mysterio.
Yeah, I knew that right away because
The light bulb clicked on at that moment.
I've known forever Mysterio is a huge Spider-Man fan, so it's like that was obvious from the moment he came out.
Yeah, Mass. Apparently, it was only me, you, Sterling, and a few other people who noticed that he was Mysterio. Most other people apparently just couldn't tell, and I was like, really? No.
Well,
Our guess was Aquaman because of the green and the green armor, and Aquaman being the most recent DC movie.
Well, I know we're trying to go quickly, and this will only take a second, but you know whose other costume people completely missed and didn't get? Kairi Sane's in the Battle Royal. She was obviously channeling Divas from Overwatch, and a lot of people didn't get that.
Diva?
You mean Diva? Yeah.
Diva! It's time to kick them off!
Her color scheme was absolutely her, and she had like something in her hair to sort of replicate kind of like headphones, though they weren't headphones.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, Samoa Joe won in dominating fashion, and you know what? Considering Samoa Joe, it was the right call to do. Keep it short, keep it sweet.
Absolutely.
Rey Mysterio couldn't do too much, so you know what? Fuck it. Let's give him a squash. And Rey Mysterio's reputation is intact no matter what. So
also, he at least got a 619 out of it. So
that's very true. So Roman Reigns over Drew McIntyre 10-10. Okay, you international bastards, listen up. I told you, don't fucking boo Roman Reigns. What did some of you motherfuckers do?
Really, at this point, are you surprised, Matty?
No, but god damn it.
The guy went through cancer. He does not deserve to get booed, at least for a year. At least a year. Give him a year. 1 year. Is that too much to ask?
Apparently it is. Apparently it fucking is, because on Raw the next night, they were showing that they were doing during one of the dark segments. Hey, show your signs. Apparently, someone illuminated. The camera pointed at a. Is it too soon to boo Roman Reigns? My answer: yes. Yes, it's too fucking soon to boo Roman Reigns. I don't care if he only came back in 4 fucking months. You try to beat cancer in 4 fucking months.
Wow, the Matty Jay from Riftdown a couple weeks ago is back.
This is comedy rage. I'm doing a Lewis Black rage here.
I know. I'm just.
I'm not pissed off. I'm trying to replicate. I'm like, come the fuck on, people. Give the man a fucking break.
And it was a fairly decent, if not good, match.
It was a good match. Not the best match out of the two, to be fair.
I think they made a basic match on purpose just because I think this is like one of his first singles matches back. So
this is his first singles match back, actually.
Okay, yeah, they want to probably keep things, just nice and safe. Just go
bit
out
of a
there.
knockdown, drag up, but don't keep it short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, don't need to do anything, too dangerous. His first singles match back. Don't break the merchandise.
Yeah. Don't fuck it up. And thankfully, they did not fuck it up. The only thing that got fucked up is the crowd. Or a portion of the crowd, in fairness.
Like, I could understand, the crowd still being burned out by the Daniel Bryan Kofi match, but don't boo Roman. God, fuck you guys.
It's the international crowd. It's the fucking UK crowd that didn't get the fucking message.
I'm pretty sure thankfully there were people in the crowd that were cheering him, so to those people, thank you.
The thumb is up. I was disappointed by that crowd. I'm like, really? You're gonna boo a man who survived cancer? Twice?
Thankfully, I will say this, my brother-in-law was most likely not one of them.
All right.
Again, it's because they think that, Roman Reigns is Vince's guy, and they will do anything not to vote for cheer for Vince's guy.
And they're evil for it on this evening. Next up, Triple H, Batista, no holds barred. If Triple H lost, we'd have to force retire from, but that did not happen. Triple H went over Batista 24-45, a little bit of comedy, and then got serious, but I think a few spots, we'll highlight a couple of spots. One, nose ring.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah. We had some people who were squeamish in our crowd that evening, and the minute the pliers touched that nose ring, heads turned. Ooh,
That's not even the worst part. I think Triple H put it in his mouth.
I don't remember seeing it, but okay.
I think what happened, he put it in his mouth and then spit it somewhere.
Can we not talk about that now and move on? Please.
Yes, let's talk about Batista tripping into the ring.
Oh, Dave. Not even 10 minutes later, avenge the fallen meme. Dave flopping in the fucking ring. Oh, Dave.
I'll say this match did not need to be as long as it was, especially considering the fact that it was literally the longest match on the entire card.
24-45. Cut 10 minutes. Keep the ear nose plug spot. You'd be right as rain there. But
yeah, take 10 minutes out of this match. Give some. Let's see, what match could have used some time? I would say Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley could have used some time.
Who?
Balor and Lashley, they could use some more time.
They could have used some time, but again, with the demon gimmick in there, I'm okay with the amount of time. I would argue split the time up between, let's see, between Styles
why am I
or
giving it, Dave?
I don't know. I think they were going Mattis being Dave, but I'm like, no. I say split the time between, let's see, Rollins, Lesnar, but again, it was official time here. I'd say split the time between the two Fatal 4-Way tag matches. 5 each.
Yep.
Just about would make sense. Don't give like a whole 10 minutes. Like split it evenly. Because the next match didn't need it. This is like the one. In French we call it bémol, like the one downer of the evening. Baron Corbin over Kurt Angle. In Kurt Angle's farewell match, they pulled the trigger. They said they was going to do it. They went with it. Baron Corbin.
You got to give props to them for sticking to it when they could have done other things. But, I think it fits storyline-wise. And I really hope that a year from now we'll be able to look back and say, Baron Corbin really was able to use that heat.
He damn well better be a champion in the next 6 months to pull that off, because otherwise Kurt Angle's retirement was in vain.
In order to lighten the mood, there was one thing we forgot to mention. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias.
Oh, wait. That was after. No, that was before. Yeah, Elias.
Yes, let's get to my favorite part of the entire night.
All right, let's finish our thoughts on Baron Corbin. Then we can laugh at Elias getting fucked up. But yeah, so that was a waste of a thing, and it was. I hope they got big ideas for you, Corbin, because they fucked up Corbin. They fucked up Kurt Angle's retirement, right there. All right, let's talk about Elias, who had a great performance, and then Babe Ruth showed up in the form of the Doctor of Thugonomics. Elias has his performance as a standard Elias promo, and then he's like, I will start performing. He is about to pluck his string, and cut to footage of Babe Ruth in the old Yankee Stadium. Oh, would you look at that? The Babe going out for a curtain call. Basic thugonomics hits. Old school John Cena arrives and not one boo to be heard.
To rehash something I saw on Twitter. Dad, why are you crying? Because, Dad, what happened to John Cena?
With a tear in his
He's
eye.
back, son. The doctor's back.
Oh,
And he
the
just
doctor is
prescribed
back.
Elias one whole keep it helping of FU.
Yeah. Oh no, I've warmed my welcome, so I'm about to leave you, but there will be no AA today. But you about to get the FU. And he did get the FU.
I loved absolutely everything about this segment, right down to the fact that when he said, joke on these nuts, and of course, they're not just any nuts, they're pistachio nuts.
His whole gimmick right there. Why not? Why
And
not?
Just a nice little touch. He pumped up the kicks.
He popped up the kicks.
Yes, he did. Oh my
Full
God.
we went full throwback with this one.
I love everything about this segment. My favorite segment of the night.
By the way, I was watching this show with my sister, and she only became a wrestling fan a few years ago, so she was so confused by this.
Oh. So she, in that meme, she was the kid.
Yeah.
Tear in her eye. The doctor's back, my son. Or my girl in this case.
My sister.
Your sister, whatever.
If his sister's his girl, there's a lot more we need to be worried about.
You know what? Call it a fucking botch. Let's move on. The semi-main. Because after Baron Corbin, Kurt Angle, they did that Hall of Fame thing in the middle of that. Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley had contact lenses. Finn Balor had a fucking demon. And that demon kicked Bobby Lashley's ass for the IC title.
Good match, good, quick, fast-paced match. Right person won. That dive by Bobby Lashley.
They made every bit of these 4 minutes, 5
4:05,
seconds. 4:05,
and it looked like this was impactful. High impact. Get your shit in, get out, and it worked.
Also, that powerbomb by Finn Balor, holy shit. So Finn Balor is like 1 inch shorter than me.
Yeah.
And he picked up Bobby Lashley. Like, I know powerbombs require cooperation, but Jesus Christ, like that still takes some strength in order to lift him.
You need a solid core, and he's got abs for days, so that must have been an ab workout.
The reason I know Finn Balor's 1 inch shorter than me is the fact that my brother-in-law went to Access and had like stands of wrestlers at their real heights.
And the demon was one of them?
Yep, and like he showed me where Finn Balor goes up to him. He goes like up to his chin, and like I'm just barely taller than Finn Balor, and I'm a short man.
There you go.
Yeah, so somebody who's like that small, like doing any sort of power move against Lashley, holy shit, that's insane. And Lashley is a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Beef.
He's got some beef prowl. But yeah, Finn Balor, you know what? In the Intercontinental title, the right man won, and in our main event, the man won. It's a good pun. I'm sticking with it. Winner takes all for both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, Ronnie, and Ric Flair's daughter. They fought Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, by the way. Charlotte got a helicopter. Ronda got Joan Jett. People are going, one idiot. I'm not going to call him an idiot. It's like, to be fair, he's an indie mark more than anything else. But I was like, wait a minute. Joan Jett, helicopter, and Becky Lynch gets nothing? That makes me look bad. And I'm like, and everyone else was like insulted by that. I was like, dude, think about it like this. Charlotte needed a helicopter. Ronda needed a Joan Jett. Becky Lynch, she didn't need anything. She got the people. And everyone else went, thank you.
Becky Lynch got Steampunk Smoke.
Steampunk Smoke and the people.
So
I will say this. I love the callback to the Great American, like, was it 1980?
Yeah, the Great American Bash in the 1980s. I can't think of the name of the year right now because it's getting late. But you get
It was I believe 1980 because it was one of the first ones, so 1986.
But helicopter entrance for Charlotte, that was awesome. Joan Jett, that was cool. Becky Lynch. Let's talk about that finish, huh?
First of all, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good match. The table won.
Tables are for bitches.
And I think they proved that.
if tables are for bitches, Ronda must have a whole house full of them.
Ho, 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 ho.
But by the way, speaking of Ronda, that bump off the drop kick and going to the floor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, how about that bump, huh?
So you have to give her props for that. And then, I mean, obviously everybody's going to talk about the ending, and I think that was the planned ending. The referee was, I think, at fault here because he should have stopped the count and redid it.
He should have waited for the shoulders to be on the actual mat, but apparently the intended finish was that backslide. So,
I mean, that's why I agree with the fact that he got admonished and fined. I mean, I know people are arguing about that, but it's like look, that was the finish
to the main event.
Messed up.
The finish to the main event. Anyway, you were saying?
I was just saying like, the finish in the main event, and again, the referees are taught, if you see the shoulders come up, stop the count. He didn't. So,
yeah, referees are taught, to treat it like
call it like a shoot
sport. Yeah, call it like a shoot. Just if their shoulders are down, count the 3. If they're not, don't count it. And if they don't kick out in time, oh well, that's just how it goes.
That's their fuck up.
And yeah, it would have been nice had it.
So it was. So Kier said it was supposed to be a clean pinfall. Yeah, the backslide was the finish. It was supposed to be a clean pinfall. The ref, unfortunately, was at fault. Should have checked the shoulders. That's the reality.
Also, why did Ronda try to kick out?
I don't think she kicked out. I think what happened is that sort of the momentum of the backslide, her shoulders popped up a bit.
I think she was trying to. I think the backslide. I think the idea was, and like I said, you're trying to kick out, like as a shoot, but at the same time, that she might have kicked a little too hard. Again, she is. This was literally the end of her literal first year as a professional wrestler. So there's some greatness to that.
Well, I don't even think it was that though. I think it was just. I thought it was the momentum, and it just popped up a second, and the ref didn't catch it. I don't think it was Ronda trying to mess it up. It was a series of momentum that.
Pretty much. Anyway, we gotta move on because we're over time already. How about that? Ratings, gentlemen.
They gave us everything we wanted. How can you not give this 5 out of 5?
I'll tell you why.
If they did, Kurt Angle would have won his match.
I'll give the show a 4 out of 5. The reason I can't give it a full score is because, number 1, it ran way too long.
Yeah.
And number 2, Triple H versus Batista was way too long.
That's fair enough. I will just say I can't give it out of 5 because it was too fucking long.
The main show was 5 hours, which was only a half hour longer than the G1 Supercard main show.
Yeah, but if you sat through the entirety of the thing, it's still too fucking long.
Yeah, that and all right. So the way they pace these shows, it makes it feel way longer, and I don't think pay-per-views need to go. Well, at least for WWE, they don't need to go longer than 11 o'clock.
It was too long. That's why I can't give it a perfect score. I will give it a 4 out of 5. What, like some people are saying top 5 Mania. No, it is not top 5. I could argue top 10.
Top 10, definitely.
But not top 5.
I think this is the happiest I've come away from a WrestleMania in a long time.
Yeah, this was a happy WrestleMania. We needed a happy WrestleMania. WWE needed a happy WrestleMania weekend. And by and large, for the most part, they got one. Until someone in a Rasta fucking Tharian hat showed up, but we will get to that. Right after I say it's time for your emails and comments of the week. You can send them to the Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com. We got 3 emails, and you folks like to type them. We begin with Renico. Hey guys, I need to cut that off that, but oh well. Hey guys, Renico here. First email in years. Didn't want to keep French Otaku being the only one here. Pay-per-views only. Lately, I've gotten to my Raw and SmackDowns from my info from my Raws and SmackDowns from one Brian Zane. That is not a bad source right there. TLDR version. Holy good God! What the hell of a that was a hell of a lot of wrestling overall. 3.5 out of 4. 3.5 to 4 out of 5 for NXT. NXT over G1 over WrestleMania itself. Okay. Only these brief statements for NXT since I was there last week. Walter is scary. Kyrie pleased to be deserved. She deserves. Oh my God, Ciampa came out at the end. You gave Goldie? I'm happy. 3.75 out of 5. Only slight nitpicks from there, really. Let's see. G1. Didn't really watch Royal Ring of Honor for some stuff that went over in my head. Some of the belt stealing rubbed me the wrong way. That's Yano. It's going to rub people the wrong way. That's just what it is there. Overall, I liked it. For a lot of LIJ fanboyism aside, I called Okada and Kota winning. It was good. The Fatal 4-Way match was awesome, as was the Lifeblood versus Bully Ray, as I call it, match. Now, for the downsides. Allure, really? Is this TNA? Also, I don't know Kenny King is, but if he wasn't a heel before, he's a major heel now. Let's see. He's got major heat now, going over Jushin Thunder Liger like that. Solid 4 out of 5. Finally, Mania, called 10 out of 16, including the pre-show. Melez Mania. What? You never saw that coming either? Mania, Men's Battle Royal was better. The SNL Jokers had a good idea until they got back to Paul. Until they got back in. Paul Heyman going Cartman. Screw guys, I'm going home. Normal. Brock did a lot of work, but Brock did a lot of work, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. Sasquatch Brocky, and I got a new shirt, which I may be wearing during the show. Miz killed both of them, but for nothing. Congratulations, Miz! I call the Iconics winning. Sorry, Natty and Beth, but too easy. Kofi Mania ran wild, and I missed Joe destroying Ray. No joke. I got up during the Joe intro, went to the John and then the kitchen, and then I returned. They were showing the replay. What? Demon versus the Almighty was an awesome match. Daddle H winnings. Rolls eyes. Mr. Burial of Pushes does his thing. In the women's match, several botches marred a good finish, including the win? Questioning tone, please. Overall, decent 3.5 out of 5. Winners, Kofi, Becky, Gargano, Seth, Kota, and Okada. Losers, the Saturday Night Live duo, Brock, Io Shirai, Miz, and his dad. Kelly Klein, though she won. And our asses. Beast Slayer shirt, and I will melt into the darkness. I am out. By the way, Renico, do you have that? I believe you happen to have. He's in the chat. I believe you do happen to have that particular T-shirt. If I am not mistaken. He'll inform me in a few minutes. While we get that response, T-Dub, you know who's next?
Friends,
Let's see if he actually holds it for 35 seconds. I'd be amazed. Okay, not 35 seconds, but close enough. Talk about endurance, he says. Hello, Wrestle-Cast. Well, WrestleMania weekend is over and done with. Lots to talk about, so unfortunately I'm not going to talk about Raw, SmackDown, lackluster, blah, blah, blah. Takeover in New York. 5 out of fucking 5. Yes, I'm spoiling it, but this show was amazing from beginning to end. Even a fatal 4-way for the women's title being the weakest on the card was great as it is. Favorite matches are Walter versus Dunn. My rib cage, I still feel the pain. And by the way, Renico says he does have that Beast Slayer shirt. The thumb is up, my friend. You've kept up with the gimmick. War Raiders for Ricochet Black. 2 out of 3 falls match between Gargano and Call, and that ending right in the feels. Nothing much to say other than it was one of the best pay-per-views of the year next to Wrestle Kingdom. G1 Supercard, haven't seen it. Might be good, might be bad, but the show that's the show that broke T-Dub's psyche. Case in point, Enzo and oh god, that's his actual name now. Kaz XL.
Yep.
CAZXL. Let me type that in chat. Warning, you may lose a brain cell over this. This is how it's spelled.
Oh, wrestling.
Oh my god.
No,
I'll say this.
Oh my god.
I will say this. If Ring of Honor wants to sign Big Cass, fine. Fuck Enzo Amore.
From everything that I've been able to find out, this is a Bully Ray call. He apparently went over Delirious' head and straight to management to get them into the company.
Oh, we'll get to that in a few minutes. You will repeat that because I heard crazy. WrestleMania 35, boy!
That's if there's any comment that should come out of this podcast, it's like you will repeat that in a moment because I heard crazy.
Okay. Fair enough. That's a point. WrestleMania 35, French Otaku says, oh boy, what a blast. Outside of a few hiccups, Bateman's tag belts, Joe and Mysterio that lasted a minute. Then again, he was injured. I thought it was fine, honestly. Everything was fine to great. Great Rollins won the Jam belt out of Lesnar. Good riddance. Kofi Kingston being WB champion. Thank God. And Becky being a double champ. Despite the fucked finish, it was great. The only pet peeves was that the show was too long. You know what, 36? Make it 2 nights of 4 hours each, with one pre-show being the Battle Royale. Yes, it might be a hinder of the NXT takeover, but there are always alternatives. Final rating 4 out of 5. I'm being generous. Questions? Who would you love to see switching brands with the annual draft? I was going to bring that up, but we got too long of a show to even bring that up.
Nakamura to Raw.
That's a fair thing, I think. Winners, Takeover New York, awesome pay-per-view to rewatch. Well, congratulations to all champions at WrestleMania 35. The Major Brothers, Rollins, the iconic duo, Balor, and especially Kofi and Beckers. Well done, lads and ladies. I hate to say it, but congratulations to Okada for gaining the IWGP Heavyweight title, even if I'd love to see the reign of Jay White being a little longer. That'll satisfy T-Dub a little bit. Batista, well, WrestleMania 35 is officially his last as he announced that he's retired. Thank you, Big Dave, for everything, except for your greatest secret. How big is Batista's dick? God damn it. I actually read that, didn't I?
I actually have the answer to that question, by the way.
I actually had to read how big is Batista's dick on my podcast again.
Bigger than yours. That's the answer.
It's so big that they call it the Guardians of the Independent.
Of the independent scene. By the way, for those wondering what the hell, the Batista's dick joke is a running gag on Kayfabe Commentary's You Shoot video series, where the fans ask all the questions. Potpourri. Someone in there will say, how big is Batista's dick?
Every single time.
Every single goddamn time. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 5.5 stars by Dave Meltzer. First match that exceeded 5 stars ranking in WWE. Well done to both of you. Losers, the injured live post WrestleMania. The injured list post WrestleMania. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Big E, and recently Nia Jax. The lady suffered ACL tears in both her knees. Oh, hello, Matty's knee. Yeah, ow. God damn it. Nia, forget what I ever said about you the first couple of months of the year. Get well soon. That fucking sucks.
Oh, you've torn your leg before, right?
Yeah, I dislocated my knee and I had some ligament tears because of that dislocation. So I understand her pain. It may not be the same as a torn ACL, MCL, whatever, but I still feel the pain. Ow. Just ow. Referee who got fined for screwing up the ending of WrestleMania 35 and the member of the creative team being fired during the Hall of Fame. Vince must have been pissed. And speaking of the creative team, I don't know if I'll consider this a winner or loser, but Road Dogg no longer being co-lead writer on SmackDown. Good. Sasha Banks and Bayley for being unhappy with WWE. No wonder what happened. Sasha's taking some time off for personal reasons. Bayley is now Alexa's bitch. D-Cell battery for the student who tried an RKO. We'll get to that. And the heavy one goes to the bastard who tackled Bret Hart. We'll get to that. But he's got the perfect word for that. C-U-N-T. Cunt. That's it. Enjoy the week. Enjoy yourself. And see you next time. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while, but he's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Say hi, evil Reverend. He'll say hello eventually. Just if I can find the goddamn button, I will hit the static button. All right, so Gendo, the Reverend may be a tad late for this week's Wrestle-Cast due to wreaking of vengeance. But he's left a recorded comment before he left for you to enjoy. We hit the button here. Static and cuts to Reverend as an unnamed claims management building. Tape recorder. Sorry, but your paperwork hasn't reached us yet. Claim denied. Please repeat. Employees, repeat. Tape recorder. Very good. Reverend, I'll explain later, Wrestle-Cast. For now, quick comments. Then, some stress relief because somebody decided to screw me over with this work-related injury. Oh, no. Oh, to quote Mark Henry's theme song, someone's going to get their ass kicked. Or somebody's going to get their ass kicked. Raw after Mania, usually the show of the year alongside Mania or TakeOver, but this time, nope. I don't know what the hell they're planning with Bayley and Banks, but it looks like somebody is looking for a way out. Brand or Jacob or Brand merge? Not sure, but but it'd be down with the latter. I'd be down with the latter if they remember how to book properly. Oh, funny, evil Reverend, funny. With AEW's Double or Nothing steadily approaching and the TV deal talked about, I'm jumping at the bit for this, more than I do for seasons of Lucha Underground. Speaking of, congratulations to Thunder Rosa, Joey Ryan, Ivelisse, and others who got their release from the company. Congratulations. I don't believe we brought that up. Have we brought that up in past shows? The fact
If not, we are now.
yeah, it's been brought up now. They're free. They're free. Speaking of when my internet stops conking out on me, I'll need to check Twitch to see what I missed on Impact. With a good amount of folks that were on LU really been kicking ass from what I've been heard. For those wondering, Evil Rev explains basically the week in the chat. Basically, this week has been hectic, and my work comp claim after over a month of being strung along and ignored over the phone has been denied. That sucks.
No!
That will explain the rest of this, the ending of this email, but we will continue. Speaking of, when my internet stops over, I need to check by Impact. Go out. Reverend, anyway, I'll see you guys in the chat. I have work to do. Enters the room and replaces the tape. Oh, shit. Hello, Dr. Shelby. And I'm the Reverend. Tape record. Hello, I'm Dr. Shelby. And I'm the Evil Reverend. And welcome to the last moments of your worthless life. Let's begin. The Dragon Zord outside will kill us in about 5 minutes. Please repeat. The employees all hand their mouths open, speechless as the giant footsteps can be heard. Tape recorder? Very good. I get the feeling that building's about to die. A lot. Ouch. I know you're feeling. I had a portion of my tax return denied because of papers were not processed on time, quote unquote. Still got a refund, but not as much as I should have received, sadly. So I know the feeling. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's Seg 2. Those were your emails and comments of the week. You can send them on the Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com. We're about 2 hours in and we're not done yet. We will return with what the wrestling fuck is wrong with you and the rest of the news. When we come back, don't go far.
And now a word from our sponsors.
The Rock can't believe this little Rudy Pucciabroni has stolen all The Rock's signature moves.
He walks like The Rock. He talks like The Rock. He's got the rock bottom, the people's elbow, the people's eyebrow.
That's gimmick infringement.
That ain't right.
He's even got the millions and the millions of The Rock's fans playing this video game.
The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth. Over 50 WWF superstars, all their signature moves and talks, plus entrances, cage matches, and create a wrestler. WrestleMania 2000.
You like pancakes?
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I must have that new Sega Power Rangers game. Goldar, steal it for me.
No wonder Rita wants that game. Look at those graphics.
Woo! And those moves.
Check out those battle zones. Let's go, Goldar. Sorry, Rita. You'll have to buy it like everyone else.
Huh? Sega.
Power Rangers for Sega Genesis. Also available for Game Gear and Sega CD. All sold separately.
This is WMOB, Mobile. 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
Sting is the new drink. It's all over the streets, man. Look for the yellow jacket all over the green can. It'll pump adrenaline like a giant machine, man. Drink anything else? That's just obscene, man. Need a pickup in your daily routine, man? It'll blast like a fire with gasoline, man. Make sure the simple citrus is up in your hand. 10 times the energy of any heavy metal band. Y'all don't know by now? I'm gonna smack your crew. This is YJ Stinger straight from Stacker 2. This YJ Stinger is the energy king. Go on, catch the buzz, feel the sting. Is that good? All right, cool. Bet.
And we're back here on the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on thebrokeninfinite.com, Bottomite.com, iTunes, and wherever else we find us, find out recording and live on twitch.tv/RVT Entertainment. Matty Jay, TWK, and Madison Hart. Enrico says the next NJW thing is in 2 hours. Hopefully we'll kill some of that time with you. I don't recognize the episode specifically, but I do get the Dexter's Laboratory reference in that. That's why I chuckled a little bit. I was like, oh, that's what it is. Aha. I don't know what the episode, but yeah. And it's Wrestling Don Taku. We're already at Road to Wrestling Don Taku, apparently.
Yeah, the road to it. So, yeah, they're starting to build the official build.
Yeah, not fucking around anymore, folks. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna. We still have some news. We'll get to the good stuff, to the actual news, and the stuff that we actually want to talk about. But I always said if there's enough news, enough what the fuck stories to talk about, I would bring back a segment. And god damn it, WrestleMania weekend did not disappoint. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that segment we lovingly ripped off from Radio Dead Air, where we take a look at all sorts of wrestling news, come back and say, what the wrestling fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, I stopped doing it for a while. It brought it as a running gag, but there's too much to not do a segment. We begin with WrestleMania. Earlier we talked about the light situation. So we brought up if you were in the crowd, you were not able to watch AJ Styles versus Randy Orton because there was a big fuck off light right in front of you.
Well, from what I hear, it was a certain section that couldn't see.
Yeah. If you were in the cheap seats or in the bowl area or like at the back of the arena, you got light straight in your face. Solo Monster, speaking of, was in the crowd, and he was a victim of that. To the point where you had no choice but to watch the entire show, the rest of the show, on one of the screens provided by WWE. And that's just a small bit of a problem. Now, it was pissing rain at the end of the show. 20 minutes after the show ended, thankfully, so they did not go too long where even the gods were fronting to go, get on with it. But, see, there's a problem with ending your show too fucking late. Transit stops. Mattis, you might be familiar with New Jersey Transit in some capacity.
I am.
Yeah, they didn't know WWE was going to finish too fucking late.
Well, one, no, they did. And Transit wasn't not stopped. Transit was still going. Like the last train from New York Penn to go towards like Trenton or that stuff is like 1:45. So there was plenty of time to like get to a train or stuff like that. That wasn't the problem. The problem is a lot of people decided to take Uber, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So transit and leaving issues. New Jersey was pissed off. New York was pissed off. And Vince McMahon was running away with the money. Like I said, minor issues. Like I said, this is the beginning of the minor issues.
Well, the story I heard was from Brian Alvarez, who he made the decision of instead of taking the bus back to a hotel and then taking it to where they were going, which would have ended up being quicker, he decided to try to jump in with a friend on an Uber, but the Uber drivers just kept fucking up.
Oh, that's just the worst. I've been through that pain. That sucks. But it's in fairness, people were wet. They were a little cold, but most of them got home safe. That like fairly innocuous. The next story, not so much. I have decided to title this next story, Billy Graham Yells at Cloud. Last week, Billy Graham decided, I hate the fact that Kofi Kingston, for some reason, is WWE champion, So I'll tell the world that I am an old man and I hate it. And he's too goddamn small for that belt, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we all know Kofi won. Congrats to him. Billy Graham, instead of, getting back into this hole and waiting for that 1000th liver that he needs. Yeah, this is Blunt Matty talking. Instead of that, he goes back on Facebook, congratulations Kofi, and suggests that he takes steroids to bulk up. Yeah, this is 2019, and Billy Graham said, hey, kid, take steroids. And a company that has outright banned them.
Yeah, a company that has a very strict wellness policy against them. And
Billy Graham, because he can't take a skinny punk kid with a heavyweight title, which, by the way, for the record, most heavyweight divisions start at 205, so Kofi is a heavyweight, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's just used to back in his old day when everybody was muscled up to the gills with everything and just...
And hips died and really backs died and Hulk Hogan's hips are fucking rotten and your hips were fucking rotten, need we remind you, Mr. Graham. He's more machine than man now. Twisted and idiotic.
If you want to see just the difference in conditions, just know that Chris Jericho has had a longer wrestling career than Billy Graham. That's because Jericho was able to keep himself clean as possible and just live a very healthy life, whereas Billy Graham didn't wrestle for nearly as long because, well, look at...
His hips gave out. His liver gave out.
Yeah, same thing with Hogan. Hogan obviously used steroids. He even admitted it in court.
Too fucking late in the court of public opinion, but whatever.
Yeah, and just look at, and when you look at the Shibas by the fact that he never wrestled dangerous matches, he always wrestled very safe matches, and yet his body is in worse shape than Jeff Hardy's.
Imagine that. Jeff Hardy, who has had, he'll admit he's had his problems with drug abuse in the past. He's still wrestling. And Billy Graham, who didn't have as long as a career, needed liver transplant surgery and hip replacement surgery.
This is why the John Oliver segment is flawed in certain places. Because as much as you may believe, and I'm sure it's a discussion for a different time.
We talked about it last week, and we admitted that there are some flaws, but generally speaking, their argument wasn't the wellness policy per se. It was the fact that, in essence, WWE superstars are not independent contractors, they're fucking employees.
And not that I want to get too deep into that because we're already 3 hours long, but this is one of the evidence to those flaws. This is not WWE fucking up. This is Billy Graham fucked himself up.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not it's not a 100% correct argument, but it's still a fair argument, and if flawed. But we move on. Billy Graham yells at Cloud. Does anyone care? No, sir. Sit the fuck down. Shut the fuck up.
I honestly forgot he was still alive.
I know, right? And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the idiot portion of this segment. Student RKO's principal. So there's video footage of a kid who was, by the way, suspended for trying to assault the principal. But when the principal says, hey, in my office, the kid, most kids would be scared. This kid, fuck no, RKO. Or an attempted RKO.
Yeah, if you've seen the footage, he just goes for an attempted one, and then he immediately gets arrested.
But that's not the best part. The best part is, where did this happen, Daddy?
School.
Where was the school?
Florida?
I believe it was from Miami. Making this
a
Florida story.
We have gone full. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, double check me if you will, but I do believe that it happened in like the Miami area.
It was Florida. Yeah, I remember the article now. So kids, don't try this at home, especially when you could get your ass fucked over. Now I got a bit for this because it gets sad. We were about to talk about the Bret Hart thing. So you may have, some of you, like myself, watched the G1 Supercard and were wondering what the fuck is wrong with ROH. We'll get to that. Some of you decided, let's watch the Hall of Fame. And you were fairly entertained. Bret Hart and Natty came out to accept the induction for the Hart Foundation. And for some dumb fucking reason, the person who I will call a Rasta asshole, because he was wearing a Rastafarian hat at the time.
That Matty, that is just terribly insensitive of you. You're offending Rastas.
I'm pretty sure Rastas are pissed off at this asshole. And I refuse to give him the actual name or a picture on this screen because this asshole does not deserve more attention. At least not in this show.
I'm just saying.
And for those wondering, what was his name? I will let The Rock talk.
That is correct. It does not matter what his name is.
Because he is an asshole and he was wearing a Rastafarian hat. Henceforth, Rasta asshole. So he jumps the rail, gets to the ring, tackles a cancer survivor who has head trauma issues with one bad bump, and he dead. Also, he's Bret fucking Hart, you fucking idiot. Tackles him, gets, and no security, which was described as ridiculous, by the way. And here comes a bunch of wrestlers, by the way. Brilliant idea, jumping a wrestler in front of all of the other wrestlers who jump over, pull him out of the way. And my favorite thing, and I wish I'm not going to share it on here, but you can find it. There's a gif of Dash Wilder punching the fuck out of that fuck face's face.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic of, hey, you know this place where all the wrestlers in the roster are all gathered at one time? Let me jump the barricade in front of all of them to attack the person that most of them look up to as the ultimate paragon of what their craft is.
Like, Bret Hart has had enough of the shit. He just wants one night where it could be thankful, say thing. This is like the first time. This is like the first Hall of Fame, and there's no bullshit. There's no tension. Everyone's cool. Bret Hart's cool. He gets to thank people without any prejudice or anything, and yet this asshole happens. And I read articles and everything else. I know I've read the guy's name and I've seen his face. He got away scot-free by the fuck. He's actually been charged with 2 counts of assault and some trespassing in there as well. And he was released on $1,500 bail, which, by the way, I've said it on Twitter and I'll say it now. If there was a little bit of old school that should have been no. Put him in the back, lock him behind with 2 cops, and when it comes time, take a powder. Give us 10 minutes. Let's teach him a lesson in not fucking jumping in the ring, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, and because of this guy, they might not do this setup again.
Which was a beautiful setup, I thought.
It was.
That was a nice setup. I like that. You could see the New Day laughing along at DX. It was nice. It was solid. And you got to see full entrances. I loved it. And because of this one asshole, we're probably not going to get that again because security is probably having another fucking smoke break when this fucker happened.
Which is one thing, like
you know what the cherry on top of the sundae is? 2 things. One, when they asked, "Hey, why'd you do that?" It felt right. It felt like the right time. You want to know why he was that pissed? people have discovered his social media, quote unquote. You want to know why he jumped at the Hall of Fame? Because he was in protest of the main event having women in it. He hated the fact that Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte was the main event instead of men.
I think trying to put any reason to why he did this is giving him one brain cell too many of that he deserves.
Yeah,
he's
apparently,
a nut job.
It
doesn't matter.
He is Fruit Loops. He is Fruit Loops. I'm just putting some context into how much of a fucking idiot this fucker is.
Yeah, so not only is he a dummy, he's a misogynist on top of that.
A misogynist, a dumbass, and obviously fucking crazy. And if WWE has any brain cells, and they do, this man will never touch another WWE building ever fucking again.
And I guarantee you, he's probably going to be banned from every wrestling event going forward.
I'm fairly certain there's a lot of wrestling promotions that's, okay, this kid, fuck him, he's good, lifetime ban. Good.
Yeah, because once again, he attacked Bret Hart, one of the most respected people in the industry. So
one of the most
maligned, one of the most polarizing figures simply because of the way he was treated. He gets a nice evening, and this guy fucks it up. If this guy gets even near a wrestling ring ever again, that promotion will fuck up.
There are a couple things I just want to add here. One is, I mean, there are people that want to blame Vince on this, but no. This is on security.
This is on security.
And whoever was in charge of security, I hope they got fired. Because how the fuck do you let somebody just jump the barricade and get that far?
How do you let one guy try to defend against this nut job? There should have been 2 or 3.
That being said, there is a bright thing that I see from this, and that is that if you need any more proof of the love and the family that is professional wrestling.
Oh, look at Dash Wilder.
Dash Wilder. I blanked on his
there
name,
was a lot
Ronnie's,
of them. Travis Brown, who is Ronda Rousey's spouse. He was one of the first ones in there. Shane, Dash Wilder with the punch. They just beat the piss out of him, or at least attempted to beat the piss out of him.
And props to not Max, little guy, GM of 205 Live. I'm blanking on his name.
Drake Maverick.
Who?
As soon as the kerfuffle started to calm down, the words coming out of his mouth. Never pay no attention to this man. Let's keep it going.
New Day in there to take care of Natalya and Bret Hart. It's like this, as much as I hate that this happened, the bright side of this is that it shows the love and the care that the wrestling family has for each other and how much they care for each other.
Yeah.
So that's the one positive that comes out of this.
Yep. Can't really disagree with that.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why T-Dub and I, especially I, after May 9th, will never spend another dime in Ring of Honor for a good long while. So, you may have noticed a kerfuffle at the end of the Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championships at G1 Supercard. And a very familiar floof of blonde hair that was slightly off frame, thankfully. They chose to pay no attention to that. It was Enzo and Big Cass. They jumped the barricade. And I thought, oh god, those fuckers are at it again. Where's security? Where's security? Wait, where's security? What's Bully Ray doing? What's this shit? And they paid no attention on the big broadcast. I will say this, and I will repeat it. I said it earlier. If Ring of Honor want to hire Big Cass, fair play. He needs some seasoning. He's a big dude. It's not the first time they went with something of a, quote, WWE mold. Case in point, the Prodigy Mike Bennett. He will be an interesting fit. But fuck Enzo. No, fuck Eric Ardent, who is Enzo, N-Z-O. Fuck him. He don't give a fuck about wrestling. Why should we give a fuck about him? Because that quote-unquote invasion, that jump into the barricade, all signs are pointing this to a work.
Yeah, the fact that they actually brought it up on television as well. Like, they did bring up, they're like, let's not pay any attention to that. Let's get away from that. Like, the fact that they would even bring it up just tells you that it's a work.
The fact that multiple people who were tagging Ring of Honor and were through the invasion, some of them were actually, their tweets were retweeted and liked by Ring of Honor Wrestling. It's not been made official on their television product as of yet, either in taping or in actual aired time. But if they hired Big Cass and Enzo Amore May 9th, I'll show up, meet some of the wrestlers. I'm looking forward to meeting Marty Scurll, some of the New Japan guys. Hopefully will make it. If they do, awesome. If not, I'll be slightly disappointed. But I'll say this: Enzo Amore shows up at that show. His match pops up. I will stand up. I will make my way to the merchandise stand. I will browse, I will shop, I will see what I can pick up, because I will pay no attention or give no attention to Enzo Amore.
Also, my brother-in-law met Marty Scurll just walking down the street in New York, and according to him, Marty's a super nice guy, so if you do meet him, you'll have a good time.
I hope so. I do hope so.
So, as the guy who was at the show...
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I do have a couple things to say about this. One,
sure.
I knew instantly it was a work, because the fact that there weren't police and security coming, and it's like, I knew instantly it was a work. And there were people behind oh, this is a work or shoot. It's like, it's a work. Like, there's no security. How is this not a work? It's like...
Somebody on Twitter put it best. They said that their friend tripped and security paid more attention to them than to Enzo and Cass.
Yeah. But what really was, you see something starting to happen, and you saw a yellow tuft of hair. I'm like, is that Enzo? That's Cass. And it's like, I will say this, from my vantage point, they were laying into each other. The Briscoes and Enzo and Cass were laying into each other. And then here comes Bubba.
Bully Ray no selling the 5,000 dick kicks.
Yeah. And he gets into it. See, I understand why you hate Eric Ardent. Okay, and I understand why everybody has issues with him. I don't mind that they're hiring Enzo and Cass, because as a tag team, they're good. Enzo is great at getting the shit beat out of him and then getting that hot tag, the Big Cass, and they work well in that sense as a tag team. My problem with it is where they did it. This show should have been like a WrestleMania show where it was about the wrestling. And this in particular, there are a lot of people who bought the resale tickets that were still left just for this match to see the Gorillas of Destiny versus the Briscoes. Now, regardless of the fact that you messed that up, and I do like PCO.
They still gave you that. They just overbooked the shit out of it.
They overbooked the shit out of it, but I was really looking forward to that one-on-one contest, but still, I still enjoyed it. But to basically what was basically the Gorillas of Destiny's moment of glory, you shit all over it. That's the problem I have with it. They shit all over them.
And the intended story was God wins, they're about to celebrate, and Yano sneaks out. I'm pretty certain a lot of people in that crowd barely noticed that Yano got away with the IWGP tag belts again.
Yeah. Oh, there are a lot of people. I did recognize Yano because I have good eyes and I keep track of stuff because I know that.
Because you are a nerd among us and you keep track of that shit. But I'm pretty sure the fair majority were not looking at Yano or the God. They were looking at two fucking idiots jumping the rail again.
Yep.
And I could tell by the silence that T-Dub is saying from T-Dub that I don't think he'll agree with you on Enzo and Cass.
I'm just letting I'm letting Mattis speak on this matter.
That's fair enough.
Because just let Mattis get the stuff out. He's got work.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, I know that, and I'm not expecting anybody to agree with me on Enzo and Cass. That being said, I think we can all agree that this was bullshit.
This was ill thought. This was not thought out.
I will say Enzo and Cass did at one point work as a tag team, but at this point, their reputation is shot because of everything that's come out about them. That nobody wants to see them anymore, and it feels like nobody wants to ever work with Enzo after everything that we've heard about him.
After all the shit he's pulled, if Enzo should have been blackballed from wrestling. Big Cass, I'm like, okay, he's got rotten luck. I mean, the seizure did not help matters, but he at least deserves a second chance to at least earn his way back into wrestling. Enzo does not. Period. End of story there.
And going back to what Matt said, this whole angle distracted from the tag titles. And
which is bullshit, because the story they were telling was like, okay, it stole the moment of glory from Tama and from the God. And by the way, if you watch some of the stuff, I retweeted the clip of Tama throwing the ROH belt harder than Naito ever threw his Intercontinental title belt. In absolute disgust and pissed off, he is like, I'm not expecting God to show up at World of the Worlds now because of this.
I will say this. From everything that I've heard, Bully Ray went over Delirious's head to get Enzo and Cass into the company. He went straight to management and kind of, pulled some strings, I guess.
Well, that's not surprising.
For Big Cass, okay, but for Enzo, Bully, you should know better.
Yeah, I believe it may have also been. I'm not 100% on this, but I believe bringing in the beautiful people may have also been a Bully move, which wouldn't surprise me because
TNA, his connections with Impact Wrestling. Yeah,
I was going to say his connection with Velvet Sky.
Yeah. I will say this: I'm not going to argue over the beautiful people. The women's division needs something. They need meat on them bones. They need some heat. But so I will defend the beautiful people. I cannot defend Enzo more. I can't. It's bullshit. Yeah. All right, that's what the wrestling fuck. Let me take that off there and put back that beautiful logo that our buddy Enigma made all them years ago. And there's still some news. AEW, perhaps. With the biggest thing. So I kind of spoiled the thing on, I believe, on Wednesday. No, I didn't spoil the thing on Wednesday. We were on Discord after our session with the monk. We are not streaming the TRPG show anymore, by the way. We are strictly keeping it to a private game now because, well, no one's showing up, sadly. Or some people do show up, but they can't stick around the entire time, which is fair, but not everyone watches that stuff. But I hung out in the general chat, in the particular voice chat, and I brought up this. If I ever said Warner Media Group, what comes to mind?
Crunchyroll.
That's not bad. Tito, you want to throw anything in?
Warner Media Group?
Yep.
I would say music.
Fair enough. They're mostly Rina Kogata, WCW, but specifically, they're the company that owns HBO, which is the pay-per-view structure, which AEW will definitely need. But more specifically, TNT, and more importantly, TBS. This week it's been reported that Warner Media Group is going to present AEW to upfronts. Now, that's television lingo. So basically they're saying, hey, we got a new show. Would you like to buy it?
It's where they take it out to advertisers to promote it to advertisers.
Yeah. So the likelihood here is AEW Tuesday nights on TBS starting in October. Around the week after, the same week that SmackDown starts airing live on Fridays on Fox is the reported, rumored start time for that particular show.
And if it keeps the same time slot as SmackDown, then that means that Riftdown will become... I'm going to have to rename the show. Fuck.
Because you can still kind of call it Riftdown.
I guess. Just for legacy's sake, I suppose.
For legacy's sake, you know.
Just to let everyone know, Riftdown is not moving to Fridays because I'm not doing two Friday streams in a row. Jesus.
No, no.
We used to do that back in the old
We used to do
day.
it, yeah, because there was always like a little bit of time before. Actually, you did a stream, and then we would do it on pay-per-view, on like big 4 pay-per-views. But you would do the thing, and then once you're done, it's just Wrestle-Cast recording, because we're still at the time just recording. But yeah, I'm with T-Dub. We're not doing 4 to 5 fucking hours of streaming. I mean, you heard Michael Cole's voice on Monday, and you kind of hear my voice getting hoarse now. So yeah, no.
That's why I like being the co-host. I don't have to talk as much.
But on Riftdown, you kind of have to talk. That's kind of the gimmick in that case.
I think that they're possibly missing an opportunity to put it on Crunchyroll, actually.
No. Like obviously, they can't put it on Crunchyroll. Like, let's put it this way. The idea is to get it to as many eyeballs as possible. Crunchyroll is kind of like a paid service. You know, the thought was maybe HBO, but that's a premium cable channel that not everyone has. TBS is a channel that pretty much most everyone in the States has, I'm sure.
Yep.
So, to me, like, yeah, TNT, they have the NBA rights, and no one in their right mind will want wrestling on TNT again, at least for a while, or a while longer.
But I'm also
TBS
just saying,
makes sense.
But I'm also saying, like, you can have it on TBS, but
Crunchyroll wrestling will not be on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is an anime site.
But what I'm saying is,
it is an anime site.
Appeal.
Hold on, Matty, let him get it out.
The crossover appeal of their fans goes both ways, and so if they need to I'm talking about putting after the show premieres on TBS.
No.
In VOD.
No.
I could
VOD I could see, but it's not going to be on Crunchyroll. There's no way. Crunchyroll is specific to anime. If there's wrestling anime, fair point.
You're ready to prove him wrong.
Anyway.
Well, it's not just anime. They also have live action.
They have live action, but they have alternate. Who cares? It is Japanese centric. Not going to happen. Moving on.
Calm down. Matty, calm down.
Yeah, but Mattis gets these pipe dreams. I got to pop.
No, you don't.
They're not pipe dreams. They're
Let
just
him dream. Let the boy dream. Let the boy dream.
Fair enough. It'll get a one-winged angel later for thinking that. Moving on. Anyway, so that's a thing, and that should be exciting news. So there you go.
The other news regarding AEW is their newest signee is Darby Allin, who I've heard quite a bit about.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of matches from the guy, but I'm impressed.
He's got a really cool look to him, and he can skateboard.
So
it is surprising. I thought he was signed a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
I think there might have been rumors, but whatever.
It was made official this week on the latest AEW show with their road to Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Also, they're teasing signing somebody who lives out in the middle of nowhere. So, guess next week we'll find out who that is. Also, the Fighter Festival was announced.
Oh, God.
Kenny did not watch the documentary.
No. I think he watched the documentary and went, I can make this funny. This is obviously their way to promote CEO across AEW for the CEO gaming tournament that's going to be happening in June. I think that's their way to.
Yep.
This is tongue in cheek, obviously.
Yep, especially that promotional video. Jesus Christ!
That I saw that. I'm like, this should have been an April Fool's gag, and I don't think they got the clearance to get it done by then. But that was
also,
so
like
much
Riniko,
tongue in cheek. That was awesome.
I like Riniko's name. All Elite Riffing. Might have to consider that.
Ooh, we'll have to work on the on the thing there. But no, this was tongue in cheek, and the best way of it was to announce a 6-man tag. Kenny and the Elite, Kenny and the Young Bucks versus I can't think of them. It's Pac versus 2 other guys. I can't think. No, it's the Lucha Bros. Penta El Zero M, Ray Phoenix, and Pac.
And speaking of some cruiserweights, guess what was just released yesterday for the PS4?
Oh, Fire Pro Wrestling, yeah, the new DLC.
The Junior Heavyweight DLC was just released. I was playing through it today, a bit of it. This is definitely a full expansion when it comes to the story mode. Like, it's a full single-player experience. I played through a couple hours of it, and I'm only like 3% of the way through it.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
So, yeah, it's good stuff. It's $15 on PSN, probably the same on Steam. So, if you already have Fire Pro Wrestling World and you want some Junior Heavyweight action, buy the DLC. You'll get like 13 wrestlers.
And ironically enough, Kushida.
And Marty Skrull. Also, apparently, it's based on their 2017 roster. So Will Ospreay.
And both were in the New Japan roster at the time. Oh, I love that.
Because it's 2017, Will Ospreay is still a junior. Same with Trent Beretta.
Where's Trent?
And some bad news. Vampiro this week was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
This is where we get a little sadder again. We got to bring the room down a little bit more, folks.
Unfortunately, and he released a Facebook video detailing it, and he says it was probably due to the concussions he suffered throughout his career.
Yep. Mortimer's here. Yeah, that explains why the show is still on. Yeah, we're talking. It's a welcome to the Late Late Show. Late Late Show is starting. Late Late Show is starting now.
Yeah, nevertheless, I hope that this is just really sad because there is no happy ending for this because, obviously there's no cure for Alzheimer's, and the fact that he's relatively as young as he is and he's already been diagnosed with it, just things are going to get bad really
did have a bit of a sense of humor because when they did the announcement, I was like, I'm not worried about Alzheimer's. I could beat that. He was obviously positive, optimistic about it. He was like, I'm starting to have Parkinson's. That's going to fuck up my gaming.
Yeah, he's like, that's going to fuck up my PlayStation time, man. Which, yeah.
Say what you will about the man. At least he's got a sense of humor about it, which, you know what? That's the only thing you got left. Why not?
Can I be blunt right now?
Yeah.
Getting old, that's actually one thing that scares me because I'm like, once I get old, what if when I can't play my games, I'm going to be really sad.
But
that's one thing that legitimately terrifies me about getting old. It's really stupid, but it is.
Here's an insight of how my brain is working right now. And this is a little bit of TMI. I'm not going to go into too much, but my grandmother is suffering through what is pretty much Alzheimer's now. She was diagnosed with dementia long ago, and then it just advanced into Alzheimer's. So she's got that, and she has a history of mental issues. I have femurs who are smokers. Both my grandfathers have had cancer. Have had diabetes. So I got mental issues, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia. Oh, and there's depression in there. So here's how I see it. I'm fucked either way. Like if I were to pick, I'm a fat fuck. So here's the thing. If I don't have diabetes now, I'm probably going to get it into this. And honestly, if I have to pick between dying old and losing all of the memories, and going batshit crazy, and dying a little bit younger, but with the dignity that my grandfather on my father's side had, because he was on dialysis. He was dying of kidney failure. That was he got off dialysis and said, "I am done. This is where I get off." And he passed away a few days later after getting off of dialysis. His last meal was the chicken from the local rotisserie chicken chain, and he enjoyed and a 6-pack of Molson beer. And he got to eat some oranges too. And it was like a weight off his shoulder, and he was happy. Not the happiest, but he died along with family and friends, wishing him well. If I have any choice in the matter, I'd rather die like that. Well, I know, because I know I'm fucked. Let me pick how fucked I am.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that your genetics fucked you, man.
And no, I'm not that bad. I'm not that great, dude. I may not have the best life right now, but I got a job, and every Friday night I get to shoot the shit about wrestling with you, and sometimes with Mattis, sometimes with Shin, and I get to make fun of Japanese kid shows from Japan, from the present and from the past. And somehow I got paid for it, and I get to go to conventions and hang out with those people, with those friends. Yep. I get to call these people friends. So, yeah, I feel sad, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I may not be the richest motherfucker on the planet, but god damn it, I'm happy. I'm not the happiest man, but I could be doing better. That was a long-ass tangent, but what the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, introspective Matty.
You know, I might have stretched this to a 3-hour show by saying that, but god damn it, what the fuck?
Let's see, 2 other news things tonight. First of all, Artie Evans has officially quit WWE right before Vince could fire him.
So, for those wondering, that skit DX did about do not say Vince McMahon, that's legit. They were poking fun of that. So when Brett said Vince McMahon, Vince was pissed. And the writer for that was the former Marching Archie.
Well, apparently, him talking about Vince happened after the attacker.
Which, in fairness, but at this point, Vince was already pissed off. Because, obviously, it's Vince fucking McMahon here.
Well, what I'm saying is that the Vince was already angry because of a failed security failing to stop an asshole, and that causing a ruckus.
So that obviously caused attention, and when the V word was spoken, he got extra angry, and then R.D. Evans went, well, I know where I'm going here. Fuck this shit, I'm out. You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And because others have basically came forth and said that it was something to where had he not quit and tempers would have cooled, he probably wouldn't have been fired.
But then again, trying to cool Vince's fire is a very tall task.
As Paul Heyman said, if it's a sneeze, take a powder. It's gonna be a while. So, yeah, RD was the smart man in the room. Is listen, I'm fucked either way. I am out of here before this. I am out of here before Mount St. Helen Vince McMahon blows up in my face.
And if nothing else, we might get Archibald Peck back in the independent scene.
And Mattis, say what you will. Tell me when the last time that was a bad thing.
Archibald Peck on the independent scene?
Yep.
Yeah, because, he quit WWE, so now he can go back to being Archibald Peck now.
He was Barrister R.D. Evans in Ring of Honor, for those wondering, yeah. A little bit of a deep cut there, actually, but there you go.
Yeah, and I'm missing Archibald Peck Russell because he was so hilarious. He is such a good comedic worker.
Oh, God. I just have this wonderful thought in my mind.
Spring Break.
Spring Break.
Joey
Janela. Colt Cabana matches. Maybe Archibald Peck versus Toru Yano?
I like that idea.
Yokotaro, maybe?
By the way, that just reminded me. For the Infinite Gauntlet coming up in May for Chikara, they announced the newest entrance into that match.
Who?
You want to know who it is, Matty?
Yokotaro?
No. You're not going to be able to guess it because it's the name that you've not heard since WrestleMania 17.
Oh, shit. Doink the Clown?
No, he's dead.
Oh, well, okay. Well, the guy that played him, but that's a WWE gimmick anyway. Who?
Duke the Dumpster Drozy.
Oh, my God. It's Chikara. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, they love their new generation era gimmicks. So, yeah, their Infinite Gauntlet, which I believe is like their Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Not to be confused by the greatest clusterfuck that happened at the Spring Break event. Oh,
that reminds me. Another person got announced for AEW this week. Glacier.
Yeah, he was in the office with Cody talking about the Chris Jericho situation.
Yeah, he also got announced, I believe, for the Battle Royal because he enjoyed how well booked their Battle Royal was for All In.
He's not wrong. How was a well-booked Battle Royal?
Oh,
7 minutes. 7 minutes and counting.
And then the last story I have this week, the only thing I have for Impact, because I'm woefully behind, is the fact that because he didn't want to do a match with Tessa Blanchard, Mr. Elias Drakefordson was fired.
Eli Drake is done with Impact, simply because he did not want to wrestle Tessa.
You know who had no problem taking and selling for Tessa Blanchard?
Joey fucking Ryan.
Also, somebody who was 3 times the size of Eli Drake, Brian Cage.
And Brian and Tessa had a great match. Wrestle Circus, I remember that shit.
Yeah, and also it didn't help that Eli Drake went on Twitter to mouth off against intergender wrestling.
That did not help matters, no.
He called it unrealistic. And then, of course, everyone jumped down on him, and now he's fired. And yes, Die Hard, Glacier, as in WCW's Glacier.
As in $15,000 per entrance Glacier.
I hope they get that budget for his entrance for the Battle Royal.
They got to do it at least for Double or Nothing. I don't know if they can afford it all the time, but Double or Nothing for sure.
So yeah, Mr. Elias Drakefordson is now fired in the unemployment line, seeing NXT.
I guess.
What's funny is the fact that just a couple weeks before this, he was doing an interview saying that he had no interest in going to WWE.
Well, that sure as shit fucking changed in the last couple of days. Maybe he is interested in WWE now.
And as Rick Van Winkle pointed out, what
Oh, hold on. I got to set up for that. Ladies and gentlemen, what a dummy.
Dummy, yeah.
Congratulations, you just played yourself.
Yeah. Oh, God, I wish I had that button because Mildred has that. That. Congratulations. You played yourself. Oh, man. Would you say, Tina, would you say that Elias Drakefordson worked himself into a shoot?
Possibly. All I do know is that all he had to do was just wrestle one match, be done with it, and life would have been good. He could have moved on, but no. Now everyone's just laughing at him.
Yep.
And what's funny is, on Impact's website, they just said Impact has terminated the contract of Sean Ricker, a.k.a. Eli Drake.
Yeah.
No future endeavor.
No future endeavor, not a goddamn thing. You know, Eli Drake, I hate intergender wrestling. Bender?
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
3 minutes. 3 minutes and counting.
What are you doing?
He's counting it down until we hit 3 hour mark.
We've already hit the 3 hour mark.
Nope, 3 minutes left.
Alright, fair enough. We knew this was gonna be a 3 hour show, dude. Don't count that, please.
Anyways, that's all I have. Winners and losers.
Well, there is one more story to actually talk about.
Sasha Banks, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sasha mad. Sasha wanted to quit during WrestleMania weekend. I'm not going to spend too much time because this is not the first time that she's teasing stuff, but for what it's worth, she stopped following Vince and the Fed on Twitter, and she is following AEW and several related AEW accounts now. All I'm going to say is, Sasha mad, Sasha going to do something about it? I don't know. To be continued.
All I do know is that Sasha and Bayley are not happy right now with their positions in the company, and that's all the information we had. That and a whole bunch of women came out in support of them on Twitter, like a whole bunch of female wrestlers came out in support of them, so there's obviously more to the story than we are privy to at the moment.
And Becky, to her credit, said, "Hey, Sasha, fight me," and then turned that into getting a lot of some good Twitter burns on Lacey Evans.
Well, but this goes to the reason why earlier in the night I said I stand by the decision they made in the tag match to put the belts on the Iconics, because really that's what this comes from, is that she wasn't happy that they just obviously it was a last minute decision, and that's part of it. But the fact that they decided to take the belts off her and Bayley and put it on the Iconics are what spurned this. Again, I thought it was the right decision because, it now gives something for Bayley and Sasha to chase down the Iconics to get the belts back. And so I think the emotionality of it being WrestleMania, and being and I don't think Sasha has gotten her WrestleMania moment yet. And I think that's part of it as well. I think she's the only one of the Four Horsemen who hasn't won at WrestleMania.
No, she has not. And you're correct in that statement.
And I think that's part of it. I'm hoping she'll calm down and people will talk to her and give her some space. And
it is worth mentioning that as soon as she left, she and her husband did go on a quick vacation. So hopefully she'll get to calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
But that's why I said this is a situation to be continued, obviously.
Yeah, also, she had to miss a talk show due to a family emergency, so maybe that stress added to it.
I think that stirred the drink, and the fact that the Wendy Williams people don't want to book her again. I'm like, guys, if it's a family emergency, what the fuck else do you want me to do? Want her to do? Bring the family emergency to you so you could cry a little bit?
Yeah, and the hard part is, but the dirt sheets aren't helping by making it seem like there wasn't a family emergency. It's just that she was angry with WrestleMania.
I mean, none of this shit helps. But it is a developing story to be continued. Let's do winners and losers, gentlemen, since we are officially over the 3-hour mark, as we knew it was going to happen, Mattis. Let's,
Congrats! We are now at 3 hours! Yay!
Dave! We knew it was going to be a 3-hour show. Shut the fuck up. Moving on.
All right.
Winners.
Losers, Matty.
Actually, keep talking. Do your winners first. Do your losers first, Mattis.
So I think we're going to have familiar losers. Obviously, Enzo and Cass and ROH for being a bunch of fucking assholes. Mr. Asshole for being the asshole that thinks he can just jump the barricade and tackle Brett. And my last one is, I didn't get to talk about this, but there was one more thing that really hurt my experience at the G1 Supercard, and that was the gentleman behind me in the Hentai Ihego shirt, which, for those who don't know, Ihego is orgasm face, so it's a shirt of nothing, who would not shut the fuck up. Even after I politely said, I love your energy, could you just turn it down a couple notches? Would not shut the fuck up. Apparently he was a huge fan of, and maybe you guys have heard of this show, but it's like a online wrestling show where, like on YouTube, where some guy gives wrestling matches sins.
Oh, yeah, Christian Markle, yeah.
I think I may have heard of that in passing, but I've never had the time to actually watch it.
All night long. Oh, that gets a sin. Oh, that gets a... Oh, that was awesome. That gets 3 sins off.
Oh,
and everybody around him wanted to beat the fucking shit out of this guy. So congrats! You're a loser.
Good call. T-Dub.
I'll just give one loser this week, and that is to Ring of Honor. It especially hurts because I've been a fan of this promotion since 2007. And back then, they were an independent company. They weren't owned by any big corporation. And they were a legitimate alternative to WWE, which is what attracted me to this promotion because they offered me something different. They didn't do the bullshit that WWE would pull, but now they're doing the exact thing that they rebelled against.
And it's out of desperation because they lost their stars to a new company. When all they have to do is keep going with the same reference that New Japan has. Keep creating stars.
Yeah, notice that New Japan, they constantly love and now AEW, but instead of showing desperation, they just say, you know what, let's prop some new people up, let's dust ourselves off, and let's hit the ground running.
Yeah, literally, oh shit, we lost Kenny Omega. Hey Jay, you want a gold belt around your waist? Okay, cool. Put it on Jay White. Put it on Jay White. See, that's it. They move on. Ring of Honor is panicking because executive meddling. Anyway, that's my answer there. My losers, obviously Ring of Honor, and I just explained why. Billy Graham, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. Enzo Amore, for obvious reasons. The Rasta-headed asshole, for obvious reasons. And WWE Raw. 3 hours, Vince. 3 hours. You almost had it. could have had any other way. You could have had Daniel Bryan just interfere and fuck up the match. Could have been better. Could have been a double countout. Could have been bullshit, but it's TV wrestling. You'd be forgiven for a double countout finish. They fight so hard, but due to injuries and of the previous nights, they were flat out exhausted. That could have been more plausible. But no, you choose the bar and tag team match, playa. You had them. You had them for 3 hours. They were happy. It wasn't the best Raw. You lost them for a couple of minutes, but you got them back. You had them for 3 hours. And then you fucked them.
I'm going to quote my brother-in-law who was in the audience during that Raw. He said, "Of all people, the fucking bar, the fucking bar."
Sheamus ruins everything. I know Tito doesn't like me to bring up the quote and because of the person who brought it up originally, but it is true to the day. Sheamus ruins everything. All right, let's be positive, boys. Let's do some winners. Mattis, let's go. Mattis?
I forgot to hit the button.
Ah!
So allow me to repeat what I just said.
Yes.
Kofi Kingston for winning the belt, the most important belt in all of professional wrestling. WWE for an absolutely amazing weekend from NXT to WrestleMania. WWE came out looking like a shining star. That for all the talk of them being afraid of AEW, if you just watched this weekend, it didn't look like it.
No, it did not.
New Japan Pro Wrestling for being consummate professionals and putting on a good half of their show. And just being in New York, going to Madison Square Garden, finally going to Times Square. Saturday was just an amazing experience for me, despite some of the bad stuff that happened. As in Enzo and Cass and the guy behind me, but those were minor stuff to an amazing day. And last but not least, Mega Ran for actually knowing who I was.
You know what's funny? He tweeted, "Hey, how many podcasts over 300 episodes?" Solid Monster said, "Well, hello," and I responded to that tweet. I said, "Well, 388 and counting. Hi, how you doing? 488. Hitting 500, hitting 500 around summertime. How you doing?"
As for my winners, I'm just going to give it to WrestleMania for being the best WrestleMania in fucking ages. And to New Japan for putting on one hell of a show despite all their limitations via Ring of Honor.
For me, obviously New Japan Pro Wrestling for looking like they don't care about AEW, and that's a good thing. Dash Wilder for that wonderful gift. I will that I will, as soon as we're done, I'm gonna pop that up because you want some therapy? Look at Dash Wilder cold cocking right on this fucker's nose, knocking him the fuck out. Let's see. Okada versus Jay White. Great match. Oh, Jay White will have belt back soon, hopefully. WWE. I said WWE Raw is a loser. WrestleMania and WWE as a whole. NXT, especially NXT, Gargano and Adam Cole, 5 and 5 3/4 stars. That I got
5.5.
5.5. 5.5 stars. The first time WWE gets to break the Meltzer scale. That is not insignificant. And it's NXT. So, yeah. Gargano. Mr. 5 stars.
I'm amazed Dave Meltzer took enough time off Kenny Omega's dick to say it.
Oh, God.
Hey, you cannot call him a Kenny Omega mark after this.
Oh, by the
Now,
way,
he's
your
a guard.
phone's close to your mic again. There we go.
You can no longer call him a Kenny Omega mark after tonight. From this point forward, he is now an NXT mark. Now he just worships NXT. Could you stop giving NXT all the good rings, Dave? God, you.
You know what, T-Dub? In fairness, that would be hypocritical because I think we're all NXT marks here.
I'm being facetious.
Of course. And of course, Becky 2 belts and Kofi winning the big one. I mean, how could... Despite the fucked finish, Becky 2 belts has a good ring to it. And she said belts on Vinny's TV. The thumb is up. If for nothing else, Vince has to make a t-shirt that says Becky 2 belts on it now. It's not a belt. Yes, it is, Vince. Yes, it fucking is.
Oh, I got an extra loser.
Ooh.
Whoever's idea was to make a whole bunch of belts replace the buttons on the belts with Velcro.
You noticed that too, huh? I'll simply say no comment and move on that. And of course, Kofi. All right, Mattis, you mentioned a new CM Jews reviews, real quick.
So the latest episode is on Fastlane. Look out this weekend for the episode on NXT TakeOver New York. And coming in the following week will be multi-parts on WrestleMania and on the G1 Climax. Not G1 Climax, but the G1 Supercard once I finally watch it.
Well, it's a cross of G1 Climax and Supercard of Honor, so the confusion is there. I actually made the confusion too, so you're not alone there.
So go check it out at YouTube by searching for CM Jews Wrestling Reviews.
T-Dub?
I still have my unpopular opinions video out on YouTube, and I'm currently working on a new one that should hopefully be out within the next couple days. And by the way, I should note that I will not be on the Wrestle-Cast next week due to being on vacation.
Oh,
I guess
where you
one
going?
could say it's a family trip.
Oh.
Just going up to Michigan, clean out my grandparents' house.
That makes sense. All right. And of course, on my end, you know where I'm going to be on Sunday, Toka Riffs Live, all that good stuff. Hey, Ranger Recap's good as well. You can want to know when that is. ! Schedule on the chat room. We'll pop that. Of course, the link is available on our Twitch in our Twitch.tv channel in the description. You just go lower and all that good stuff. That being said, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316, at TWK Official, and at Mattis Leonhardt. On the Twitter, of course, I'm on Instagram as well, MattyJ316. You want to support us, TWK's Patreon, patreon.com/TWK Reviews. Of course, my tip jar is always available. PayPal.me/MattyJ316. That is the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you. And thank you for lasting through this marathon of the show, which, as Dark Mortar has
Said it's still more interesting than 3 hours of Raw.
In most cases, he's not wrong. Well, that being said, thank you very much, and thank you very much on behalf of Mattis Leonhardt.
Remember, I am the most glorious Jew that ever lived. Your wrestling, rapping, and unchained, undisputed Jewish champion. So sit back and bask in my glory.
Bro. And TWK. Uh-oh. D-Dub. Did he leave already? He left!
The bastard!
He had to go to the... Oh, I think the marathon went to his bladder, unfortunately.
Wait. I'll do my TWK.
I'll do it for him. I'll do it. And on behalf of TWK, who reminds you to work your gimmick, my name's Matty Jay. Reminding you of professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. We're back to normal next week. Have Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
And they call me the golden shovel. So I'm about to bury your push. Your face looks like my nuts. Except you got a hairier bush.
Gonna need a sensu for that one.